Yes, hello. I am James Rowlands, and today it's the WNR545. It's AEW World's End, year end. Yes, it is indeed the end of the world as we know it. But Happy New Year, everybody. We are into 2025, and I am not alone. I have a pleasure to be joined by the entire WNR team. Up first by my side for every WWE and AEW show, it is the fantastic Jaxie Scarlett. Happy New Year, Jaxie.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everyone listening. Thank you for joining us for is this the first part of 2024?
Yeah, yes, it is. Believe it or not,
Yeah.
doesn't feel it.
It already feels like, time has flown by. But thank you all for joining us for the first pod of 2025.
I know, another year. Can you believe it? We give everybody hope around, listening to this and thinking if they can do it together, anybody can.
Yeah.
Well, up next, our resident NXT expert and New Japan demigod, it is Monty. And Monty, I know you love this time of year as well. Happy New Year, bud.
Yeah, Happy New Year. I don't know. I'm getting old and jaded. I wasn't as excited about this year as I've been in the past, but at the end of the day, I'm Happy New Year. Excited to be on the show again, and it's just you just start on a fresh slate for the year and see how things go in this calendar season. I guess we can put it that way, but yeah, like you mentioned, Wrestle Kingdom, Wrestle Dynasty, so. It was always a very frantic period of time if you're a fan of New Japan, like I am, or deity as you have, or demigod at this point. I have been. Yeah, I'm not. I don't think I'm even. I don't even want to be a demigod at this point, but I'm holding on to whatever godhood I have left in me. But yeah, it's always exciting. But another pod, man. It's just like you said. It goes by so fast, but it just seems like it's getting harder and harder to get these things done. But wrestling is getting better and better. Really weird how that's happened. It's just really weird. But hey, excited to be here.
And last, but by no means least, well, welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. We got everything you wanted. We know that name. We got a bit that you can find wherever you need. We got the money, honey. You got the trees. It's a jungle. Welcome to the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. Bring it to your knees. Oh my God. And I'd just like to welcome Gina. I love you as much as Tony Khan loves Guns N' Roses. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too, James. I'm still waiting for you to do your rendition of Action Bronson's rap for Hook's entrance. So I'm still waiting for that song to come along. But I'm still happy with the Guns N' Roses, seeing as Tony likes to shove that down our throats all the time. Right, Happy New Year, team.
Yes, everybody's here now, so it is great to get off to 2025 to a great start. We're going to catch up with AEW and, of course, finding out who wins the 2024 Prediction League. Now, if you've not been following all year, it's been close, and I lie when I say that, but hopefully it might change. Who knows? There's like 50 points, but at the moment, Monty, you look to be in a position. Do you think when we finish, you will be champion, or will you somehow throw this away?
We'll see. We'll see. I'm not gonna. I'm always going into this confident. This is the best. This past year was the best year I've ever had doing this across all promotions. Usually, if I'm good in one or in a couple of leagues, or if I'm doing good on bonus points, I suck across the actual leagues. This year was my most well-rounded, so I expect to win. But hey, we shall see. We shall see.
Yes, we shall. We shall. But like I said, we're going to catch up with AEW. We talk about the Continental Classic. We had two leagues like we did last year. Blue League with the champion Okada, Carl Fletcher, Daniel Garcia, the Beast Mortis, Mark Briscoe, Shelton Benjamin. And then the Gold League was Will Ospreay, Juice Robinson, Brody King, Ricochet, Claudio, and Darby. Before I run through the results anyway, I mean, Jaxie, what were your thoughts on this year's lineup, maybe compared to last year's? Were you excited to see where the Continental Classic went to?
Yeah, I think I really enjoyed last year's Continental Classic. I think that like each year's has been great in the selectants that they've had actually as part of the promotion. I think the one thing I was looking forward to this year was seeing that Brody King was yet again attached to this. He had some great matches that really stood out in the previous competition the year before, and I was really excited and eager to see like kind of where he was going to go, whether or not he was going to progress. So we'll talk a lot about some of the wrestlers who had previously been in other competitions throughout the Continental Classic. But I think specifically for me, I was very excited at seeing kind of the names like Claudio, Brody King, Shelton Benjamin, and even Carl Fletcher. I was kind of shocked, but like in a good way, to be like that. There's some fresh new like faces joining this year's competition. So I don't think that they've done a bad job with being able to give opportunity within this specific tournament.
Yeah, without a doubt. So we got on it then. Blue League, and Shelton Benjamin beat Briscoe. And the gold, Claudio beat Ricochet. Brody beat Darby. And then collision in gold, Ospreay beat Juice. And blue, Fletcher beat Mortis. Okada and Garcia ended in a draw. But Gina asked you this. Why is there a champion in here already? I mean, Daniel Garcia won the TNT title. And now, just vying for the Continental Classic? What's that about?
Yeah, that's a good shout, to be fair. Do you know at all if Daniel Garcia had won that championship before the Continental Classic started? I can't really remember.
Yeah, I think he
was he champion
won it
before?
the pay-per-view before. I think,
right.
or you know what I mean, before.
Yeah. So I'm not a big fan of these already champions being in the line for another championship. I know that they do like a lot of these double belts now after Becky set the tone with Becky 2 belts and things. But like it in my eyes, it doesn't elevate you any bigger whether you've got one belt or two. It's more about like the dedication that you put into owning that belt and giving great matches during your reign as that title. So for me it didn't make sense. So when I did see Daniel Garcia in it, I was like, well, he's not going to win the tournament then, because why are they going to give him like the belt if he's got the TNT one now, So it's kind of like, again, already for those of us who actually do sit there and think about outcomes of matches ahead of time, I'm already thinking, Daniel Garcia's in this so that he can take the pins in some of these matches then, because what else are they going to do with him? Push him through. So yeah, in a way, I do feel like they need to keep that separate. If you're already a champion somewhere else, you shouldn't really be in a tournament to winning like another championship, if that makes sense. That's my personal view.
Exactly, especially when the TNT title, for me, has always been quite an important one, in AEW. Now it seems less to land, but, see what they can do with it. Blue League action, Fletcher beat Benjamin, and it is wild that Benjamin is only a few months off being twice of Fletcher's age, who's 25. We've got the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal with Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and assortment of wrestlers, leading to those two as well. Swerve slaughtered Max Caster, Jay White beat Pac. I wonder what's happened to Pac. Does anybody actually know? Like, I've not seen him in a while. I don't know. Monty, is he injured again?
No, is he injured?
Yeah, what's...
Yeah, because that's what I thought. Like, does anyone know? Because, it really didn't make sense, and we'll go further into detail later about this. But in the latest AEW, like, he wasn't there, and I kind of figured he would be part of the match. So, where is he? Is he injured?
I haven't heard anything in particular, to be honest. Whether it's like another visa related thing or is he's been gone or hurt or whatever. But I'm excuse me. But yeah, with Pac, you never really know. I think it's a visa related thing. The last thing that's always a chance, at least from what I've been hearing. Since he still lives overseas. But from what I hear, that wouldn't be like an injury. They don't lump it into his injury. He's had multiple absences linked to visa. So I'm gonna go with visa. I haven't heard that confirmed, but from the rumor mill and just based on the fact that I know similar times he's had these type of issues, I wouldn't be surprised if you looked into it that people are probably blaming it on visa issues because I didn't hear anything about injury.
No, okay, that's interesting. Well, we'll see if
Could it also
anything
be
develops.
just that he's, from the UK and maybe he took some time off to go back home and see his family for Christmas break?
Yeah, because you always want to go back to the UK
I mean,
in December, don't you?
that's possible too. That's possible too.
I mean,
But
it's possible. It is possible,
It's
but
possible.
I think the
that's
visa is
possible too.
probably more of the way
I'm
to
just
go.
going off in the past. He had visa issues, and we've seen multiple people at times have these problems, mostly in AEW for some reason. I don't know why other WWE doesn't see now some of these same issues. But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe, like you said, it could just been all giving time off. But it'd be nice if people specify. At least when Drew left, they immediately was like, "Well, Drew went back to Scotland." At least say that, if it's something as simple as that, because then you have people like us wondering why. What the hell happened?
Right?
So,
Yeah.
Exactly.
but
Yeah.
AEW can't
Everyone
do
just
that. People
wondering,
just
is he
disappear all
injured?
the
Is he
time.
okay?
Yeah, people just disappear all the time in AEW, and then you find out weeks later, I have an update on this guy. He's been hurt with a serious injury or whatever for months, and we didn't find out anyway on television. I don't know.
We didn't.
Maybe that's how you know
We
they just
weren't to
have
be
so much
told.
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just have so much going on in AEW that it's hard to really keep up. But yeah, as far as I know, he's not injured though.
I'm glad you mentioned the 2024 Wrestler of the Year, Drew McIntyre. It's so great to see his name, and I'm not the first one to do it.
Did you even hear anything I said after this?
No.
Please move on.
Nope. Anyway, back to AEW. Jay White, Adam Page, and Orange Cassidy ended up taking out the Death Riders. So we're going to have a fatal four-way at World's End. Back to the Continental Classic in gold. Claudio beat Brody. Juice was injured, with Commander taking his place. And Jax, it's always a shame when someone gets an injury, especially Juice, because he's really not got going in AEW.
No, he's really not, had his chance to really kind of make his mark yet in AEW. But there is a lot of love, from the audience, from the crowd, from the AEW universe for Juice. So it was a real shame to hear of this injury. I'm rewatching it back. Oh my gosh, it looks so painful. These injuries, let's hope that this was the last injury to come out of 2024 and that 2025 will be a better year with less injuries within the wrestlers' workplace. It's not even about, other wrestlers trying to be careful with each other, because I think sometimes it is just being aware of your surroundings, aware of your landings. A lot of these wrestlers at the moment are breaking, sort of toes or feet or things like that, where they're coming down from sort of a top rope move, sort of feet first, colliding first. So it's just all about, them being aware of their bodies as well. So I just hope that, every wrestler that's currently injured has a really speedy recovery this year and can get back to us as soon as they can. But also just, that this year is a bit more of a blessed year for wrestlers going forward, that there's no more injuries. But we'll see. We've got two big pay-per-views coming up over this weekend. So let's see how that goes. That was
well,
fun.
we move on to a Rampage with Blue League. Okada beating Briscoe and Garcia beating Mortis. In gold, Ricochet beat Commander. Inclusion in gold action, Darby Allin beat Commander. And the International Women's Cup tournament continued, Willow beating Serena Deeb. And Blue League action, Fletcher hit a low blow behind the ref's back and took Okada down for the pin and the win. And Gina, this is what's good about tournaments, and even with Fletcher, getting that win over Okada is huge. Even, like I said, if he doesn't end up winning, he's got that in his bonnet now.
Yeah, I mean, I was super shocked to see him get that win, but I also wasn't mad at it. I thought that was a brilliant move to make, and I think it really helped elevate just his status in AEW. If he can beat the likes of Okada, then he's definitely already up there to be, competing in title level matches, and that's just, I'm just happy for him.
Yeah, without a doubt. We also saw in Blue League action, Briscoe beat TNT champ Garcia. We also got a countdown to On Sale All In, which I watched, and nothing really to talk about there. So we move on to Dynamite with Gold League, Ospreay beating Claudio. We also had on Cole beating Kyle O'Reilly to face MJF. And again, Monty, it's a sad situation we're in. Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly having a match to face MGF, and it's kind of really been forgotten about in a weird way, even though this is what main event feud, so to speak.
Yeah, I think this entire storyline, and we can get into the result when we get there, but this entire storyline has just kind of been unfortunate for both guys, but mostly, in my opinion, for Adam Cole, because this felt like this is basically the major angle that they were going to try to give Adam Cole immediately after the whole Britt Baker storyline and all of that, and all of the work they put in with Max into, because of unforeseen injuries and just timing and just the way things kind of worked out with Max injuries and contract or whatever he was going through. It's just been just unfortunate hit after unfortunate hit, and it's kind of sad, like you mentioned, that a match that for a feud that seems to be so important, and then you have very good to top-notch level quality wrestlers all involved all the way through it. It's really unfortunate, like you mentioned, to just kind of look at this and be like, oh, well, okay, that happened. Adam Cole, fighting for the right to fight Max, and it was decent, but here we go. We pretty much know what's going to happen, too, because we know it. We have to get that payoff. So it's just one of those things where it's just like, it's unfortunate. And it gives this storyline, too. Like, it makes the storyline feel way staler than it probably deserves to feel. But it's just because we did all this work laying down this groundwork in 2023. I'm sure once we get to my 2024 prediction, I had major predictions for people involved in that storyline. So it's kind of funny when you think about how we're going into the next year, and we're probably trying to finally put this storyline on these last legs, and it just feels stale. So I kind of feel bad for everybody, because I don't think it's one person's fault, or this is even AEW's fault. But yeah, it's one of those things that I don't think everybody is really that interested in at this point because of these circumstances.
Yeah, without a doubt. On to Gold League action. Ricochet beat Brody King. Main event was the Women's World Championship match between Shirakawa and May. The champ couldn't get the win with a Mayday, but was able to get it with Storm Zero a moment later. As the show ended, Toni Storm made a return in her old gear as the crowd went wild. Jaxie, what were your thoughts on this? May main eventing, but again, all about Toni Storm.
Yeah, this was an exciting moment for them to main event, for sure. I totally was expecting a Toni Storm return, but not here. So I think the shock actually was a nice shock. And then to even see her in her old getup, it was just really cool. So I was definitely, sort of intrigued right from there to like kind of figure out like what the hell is going to happen, where we're going to go from here with Toni Storm as well. It wasn't like she immediately went running straight to the ring to beat the living shit out of Mariah, so that there was a lot of question on, okay, so where are we going from here, Toni? So yeah, but intrigued, and I'm really happy to see her back too.
Yeah, well, she returned to action, Toni Storm did, on Rampage, believe it or not, beating Harley Cameron. On Collision, Willow beat Jamie Hayter to qualify for Dynasty. Julia Hart returned and laid out Jamie. What a hater. But Gina, it's interesting to think Toni Storm's return was on Rampage. But again, we saw Julia Hart return, and getting into a feud with Jamie Hayter can only be a good thing.
Yeah, of course. Part of me feels like this might be like AEW's way of saying, well, you should have tuned into Rampage. If you had, then you would have seen the return. So in some way, I am still kind of grateful that I still keep up with Rampage, because I was able to see that return, when it happened, rather than finding out about it through a flashback on Dynamite. So, yeah, for me, I think that's just more of AEW's way of kind of trolling those who don't bother to watch the Rampage show. It is just like 50 minutes in total if you take out the ad breaks. So, yeah, to be fair, there have been some banging matches on random Dynamites as well. So if you don't tune in and you do have a spare 50 minutes to an hour on the weekend, you should check it out, because then maybe you'll see more returns.
We'll move on to the Holiday Bash. Monet defended versus Anna Jay. Blue League, Benjamin beat Mortis. We saw Gold League action, Darby Allin beating Ospreay in a first time ever match. And Monty, this is again the beauty of wrestling, where you think, have they never faced each other? But again, paths never crossed, and we finally get it here. Even though for me it's not a dream match, still very interesting matchup.
Yeah, I think that's what the mock G1 is all about. That's the one thing I always say about. I've always said for years about the G1. This is why I used to implore WWE, and ain't no point asking WWE at this point to even try to do anything even remotely close to it. But this is one of those elements. You get a dream match like this, and I kind of get it because WWE don't like to do business this way. They don't want if you have something, if you have talents that people want to see. WWE prefer to tell a story behind it and not just give you the match sometimes, and that's 100% fine. I think sometimes you got to accept those differences, but this is what the G1, and this is what that's what these things are all about. I think going back to your earlier question about why is Garcia in there, I think it's just more so of adding to that reputation of having the best wrestlers on the card match up with some of the other best wrestlers, if you know what I mean. And while it may not make logical sense, and it may, like you mentioned, all those things you mentioned about the TNT title and making it look a certain type of way is 100% on point. But I think sometimes I think that is more of the purpose, though. The purpose is making some of these matches, making it having a chance to see this guy versus that guy, no matter what he has going on outside of it. Does it hurt narratives? Yes, but it doesn't give you a chance to see a match you never thought that you would see, or a match on a random Dynamite that you never knew these people never fought before. Yes, and I think that's kind of like one of those things. One of those things you can't execute. But like what I would like to see done better throughout, and they do a decent job of it. But I think another thing, the reason why I'm not calling it the mock G1 just to shit on it. I mean, it really is just the G1 concept. But I think, to be honest, the better thing that G1 does is that everybody, no matter how low on the block or on the other block, they do a great job of telling completely different stories through every member. And I think that's something that the Continental Classic tries to do. And I think that's what I think if they want to continue to make this concept even better, that's what they will do. They will incorporate storylines to where you don't just think about this and be like, this is just a dream match. You're like, no, forget just the stakes of the tournament. These two guys have an outside reason to want to fight each other because of it. And I think with history, because the G1 does rely on history for a lot of that, I think the more of these they do, then you'll see in a few years somebody be like, you know what? Darby Allin is 0-3 against Will Ospreay in Continental Classic matches. Will he finally beat him or whatever? You know what I mean? So I think that's the type of thing they can only get better at with time. But this was a great, like you mentioned, it's one of those things that you feel spoiled, and I think that's the opinion that Tony is trying to give a lot of his fans. He wants his fans to look at the Continental Classic and be like, we're getting spoiled. We're getting pay-per-view level quality stuff on a random Dynamite or a random Collision because of this tournament.
Yeah. We see the Death Riders beat Orange Cassidy, Jay White, and Hangman on Page. On Rampage, Gold League, Brody King beat Commander. And then Collision for Hammersmith Ballroom. And again, with a much better setting, it looked like a better show. Felt bigger as well in a weird way. And they threw toilet roll at Ricochet. Even so, he beat Will Ospreay in Gold League action. And Jaxie, this is a type of thing Ricochet needs. Maybe not the reaction from the crowd, but definitely the result.
Yeah, I think the toilet roll that was just a little bit disrespectful. That was a bit sad to see. I don't think he deserved that at all. Not at this point, anyway. But we'll just like put a stamper on it there. But with regards to sort of like the match level, this is exactly what Ricochet needed to be able to show off fully what he could do, especially against someone like Will Ospreay, where like what's it called? They match so well with their skill set. And I think he needed like someone like at that same level to challenge him and show him what he can do so that us as the audience can see what he can do. So it worked. It matched well.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. And like I said, the character Ricochet, we'll speak about it more, is definitely getting there. Blue League action, Garcia beat Shelton. Briscoe beat Mortis. In gold, Claudio beat Darby Allin. And then we had the sad news. And Gina, I know you'll be the most upset considering what you just said, but the final episode of Rampage has been confirmed. It's going to end. I mean, Gina, how are we going to live without Rampage now? It's only 50 minutes. Why do they do it?
I'm gonna miss that 50 minutes of Rampage and surprise debuts or returns. Damn it!
Like I said, it's one of. Would anybody miss Rampage here? You know, in their weekly schedule.
No,
Not
it'll give
really.
me for a free time.
I think that's what we'll think. I'm thinking to myself, SmackDown's going to 3 hours, so that's that time taken up already, really.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Not to put everybody down. We love watching wrestling, everybody. And speaking of, in the UK, we will continue watching AEW as well because it will be on ITV4 and ITVX, so you can watch Dynamite and Collision for free in the UK, which, again, is still a great thing, really. You know, I know a lot of people, especially this time of year, might want to save some coppers, and there you go. Dynamite Christmas, Gold League action, Will Ospreay beat Brody King, Ricochet and Darby Allin Drew, and Commander upset Claudio. Monty, I know you have experience of, like you said, G1s and stuff like this, but this annoyed me because I knew Commander was going to upset Claudio. It was the only way they could do it, really. And I don't care what Darby whispered in his ear.
Yeah, like you said, if you watch enough of them, you know you can kind of spot one when it's about to come, and I think that's one of those things. It had all the makings of a great upset, and yeah, I do give them props though for trying to incorporate the I guess the old Death Riders angle and try to say that Darby told him do this, you know, because of that or whatever. But you know, again, like you mentioned, it's just one of those things that if you watch enough of these tournaments, you know when a upset was coming. You know, especially with the point totals and all of that. It was set up, it was done. But yeah, I'm not that mad at it either though, because you know, again, as much as I try to give AEW shit for stuff, it was entertaining. They did do it, executed it well. So it is what it is. But yeah. Decent stuff, I guess, guys. Decent stuff.
Ospreay finished number 1. Ricochet finished second, which might have been a surprise. Blue League, Okada beat Benjamin. Fletcher beat Garcia, so Okada finished first and Fletcher finished second. Jax, I asked you at the start what your thoughts on League. Final positionings, were they much of a surprise?
Yes and no, I would say, because I felt like Brody had such a better run in this competition compared to last year. So I really felt disappointed at not seeing him get to the final. But can we just actually go back to the Okada versus Shelton Benjamin? Because my God, what a match! That was an awesome match. And to be honest, I don't think either man lost that match in terms of the level of respect that came out of that match in itself. So yeah, I think that it was sort of like expected as well. Like there was no way that we were expecting Okada to like not make up the points and actually go through to the semifinals, let alone the finals. You know.
Yeah, without a doubt. Up next, so we saw Ospreay come out and confront Fletcher, and then the show ended with Mox hyping his well-titled match. But Gina, get your tissues ready because this is final Rampage. Jericho beat Bowens. Private Party beat Leo Sparrow and Alec Price. Yes, I had to pause to get the names. Thunder Rosa beat Layla Gray. And Hook beat Nick Wayne. My God. So move on then. Wells End, December 28th. 0 hour, which was 90 minutes. It's again, just why? Renee RJ, Daddy Magic. Monet in the Monster Truck. And the first match was Tony Storm versus Layla Gray. Storm got the win and continued to act like this is all new to her. Jackson, I'll get you to start us off. What are your thoughts on this? And what's your score?
I mean, like, first of all, I'm just intrigued with this Tony Storm character because she really is coming back, like, in this whole character as if she has never stepped foot in, like, AEW before. And, like, this is, like, her first time signing. So, I mean, yeah, it's pretty interesting to see where things go from here because she's really, if she's really acting like this, she's really acting like there was absolutely nothing that happened between her and Mariah May. So it's like, girl, when are you gonna come back and fuck her up? She fucked you up. Do you know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
so that is something that I'm definitely intrigued about, like going forward into 2025, the storyline, like where do things go here from Tony, like with this approach, with this new character she's taken. In terms of the match, you know what? I gotta give props to Layla Gray. I thought it was a decent match for a 0 hour. I feel like it's definitely one that would, you would see on sort of like a collision or whatnot. But I don't think it was like horribly bad, like between the two women. Like I just thought, it was just there for show and really just to kind of like, you know, showcase Tony Storm, and her comeback. So I thought this did what it needed to do. My score for it is going to be a 3, just because of like there wasn't like any storyline attached to it or anything for me to really like feel like it blew me out of the park.
Mm.
So overall, a 3 I think is pretty decent.
Yeah. But I think you're right there. Monty, what is your score? But as Jaxie said, it's the character of Tony, and when she finally switches back, again, it's intelligent, and it makes me more invested in the Tony Storm story. That's not easy to say.
Yeah, I think she's great. That's the only thing I say about it. She killing everything that she does. I think the angle is fine. I say just wait because even I think this is still timeless. Tony Storm, she's just in another time loop with herself right now. She's a newcomer again. She's new to AEW again. Eventually, something will happen, and she'll I don't know if things are gonna go back black and white, but she'll definitely get back to Mariah. I think that, especially, don't be surprised if around time to go to Australia, she magically remembers what's going on. Yeah, don't be
Yeah, do you
surprised.
know what? You actually described it right. You described it right. She's in a time loop. That is the best way to describe
Exactly,
like her character
exactly.
right now. Thanks for clearing that
Yeah,
up because that really makes a lot of sense.
yeah. So she's still delusional, still in her own world, but now she's like I said, in the time loop, and I think that's what made this segment. Leela's progressing, and she looked like that was pretty much the best she's looked. But I think honestly, this segment was just based on the power. Because honestly, if it wasn't for the angle, I would be annoyed that she's here. And the only reason why I say that is because we're talking about Tony Storm, and like everybody knows she deserves more than a pre-show spotlight. But with the help of the fact that
Exactly.
Tony is a newcomer and Tony
Yeah, makes sense.
views herself as like she's helping put up the ring and stuff like that. Like she views herself as like a young lion in AEW, pretty much in almost, if you just go off the way she speaks about it. Then
Yeah.
it makes this a lot better in my opinion. But yeah, 3 stars is fair. I don't think the match is anything spectacular, but I think with the angle and with what we know Tony is going through, it was pretty good.
Yeah, without doubt. Gina,
I
not
also
really
want to
much to
say
add.
that I also just wanted to add that I got a like from Layla Gray from my tweet saying that, like the match was like decent for what it was. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
just about that.
Well, I am single if she listens. Gina, stop the awkward silence.
Insert tumbleweed here. No, I also agree with regards to the match. The funny thing is I actually, when I was watching this match, I said to Jax, is it me or is Layla Gray? She's not like the top tier wrestler, but is she wrestling better than Britt Baker did against Mercedes Moné at that point? You know, again, I thought Layla did great in the match to just keep on par with Tony, and fair play to her. I've not seen Layla in a lot of matches, so it's not like I've got like a lot to compare her to in terms of like growth or progression, but I still thought she did really well in the match, and I also agree with the score. I think a 3 is fair.
Yeah, 3 for you, 3 for me there as well. Up next, Daniel Garcia and Mark Briscoe join the panel. I mean, wow, that TNT title means shit now. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, QT gave an interview backstage for his match against Double J. Again, because we need this match here. Come on now. It's 2024. We need Double J versus QT Marshall, which is basically them just fucking around, really. But Double J survived interference from Aaron Solo and got the victory. Monty, what were your thoughts on this? I mean, come on.
James, you know my thoughts on this.
We need more Double J.
I was sick of Jeff Jarrett in Impact, and that was the damn Impact show. But think about this, James. I was sick of Jeff Jarrett in Impact in 2010.
Wow.
I think that should
He
explain
had 15
everything.
years of irritation.
Exactly. So I think that should explain how the hell I feel about this. Jeff, you're a legend, but come on, man. You don't need a squash match on a full. They didn't give either spot. I probably would have been okay with this if Aaron Solo was the wrestler, but you could have gave either spot to a younger guy who needed the spotlight on a 0-hour show. Jeff Jarrett don't need it. QT Marshall, who's training people and who's a vet at this point, a damn producer, he doesn't need this shit. I don't want to see it, and I don't know how anybody else cared to watch this. So this was like 2 1/4. Yeah, whatever. Nice to see you, Jeff. Go away. But hey, who am I? At this point, I'm done asking him to go away. So I was asking when he popped up. What? It's been 2 years since he signed with AEW or whatever. He been back a while, James, and I thought when he got his Hall of Fame ring from Vince or whatever, when the old man on the other company, thought it was over. I thought, yay, Jeff Jarrett is finally done. And he won't go away. I can't, James, just.
The
oh
thing
my
is,
God. I'm done. I'm
fuck
done
the
with
young
it. Anyway.
talent. Do we really need young talent gain experience on pre-shows?
They have
Fuck
so
'em.
much talent.
No.
Yeah.
Let's have Double J wrestling all the fucking. Let's bring out all the fuckers from the past, whoever we want to do. QT every
don't
month
stop there. Don't stop
against
there.
minor
Just
celebrities.
chuck all the gold. Just chuck all the gold on Double J and have him in every match on every pay-per-view for the rest of his life that he can stand. Just do that.
But it's the same thing with Jericho. It's just like, how are you ever going to make some of these newer stars or these guys who you want to build your promotion around? You can't do that if they're never allowed to do anything. They got to move aside for Jericho. They got to move aside for QT. Move aside for Jeff Jarrett.
They've been given a match, all right? You know, you've been given a match, whatever it is, and you didn't meet the standard set. You know, you only get one chance nowadays. You know, or even no chances. Like I said, if you can't come up and kiss Jericho's ass or, you know, give respect to Double J and shake his hand or whatever it is, then you don't deserve this. And whatever QT's doing. I mean, Gina, what do you think QT has got on AEW management to keep getting these matches?
I honestly don't know. Maybe QT is like secretly a billionaire and he actually funds the whole promotion of AEW.
Yeah, Tony's actually broke. He lost it to QT in a poker game.
Do you know what? I just think that he was so desperate. He's that desperate that he actually went to TK and said, listen, I will job out to any fucker you want if you put me on the pre-show every time. And that's what he's done.
Oh, God. I wonder who's going to be next time. I bet it'll be one of the Jackass guys. You know, they'll get one of the old ones out just to kind of do that. But again,
and QT will still to that.
Yeah, QT's up for it. He's up for anything. Gina, what would you give this magnificent match out of 5?
2.
That's a bit unfair. Jaxie?
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with everything that Monty said about Jeff Jarrett. I'm so over him. I'm so sick of him. We're going to have to talk a lot more about him in a little bit. And I'm not fucking here for it. I don't care for it. And it's not that I don't respect what he's done for the business, but move over, just like Monty said, like there's so many young talent that actually could have taken that spot. And I'm just over it. So yeah, this got a 2 for me.
What I love is that they could have done his promo in ring after the match, but instead gave him extra time to say he's going to say something on Dynamite about his career.
Yeah, which we all were hoping was something, but isn't something, you know?
Well, I think 2025 is going to be Double J's year, but I'm going to give that 3.5. I mean, this was, you know, reminiscent of some of the great ones that I've seen in the past. Look, this is QT.
Fucking
The crowd. The crowd was worked here.
Jesus. They were being
Anyway,
nice. They were just hyped up for the show to actually fucking start. That was it.
yeah, cheers. Cheered when the match finished, just because it was over. Anyway, Tony Storm is over the moon. Perazzo wants a match with her. This is going to be first time ever as well, guys. And finally, Roosh, Andretti, Cage, and Answer. No, sorry, Leo Rush, not Roosh. Andretti, that's how much I paid attention. Brian Cage, Lance Archer defeated Top Flight and the Outrunners. This was just, I just fucking didn't like it. Gina, I mean, yeah.
I don't know how to review this match. I'm not mad at the people in the match. I like them all, but I also found this match pointless. I found the team ups just random. Just do a normal tag match. Like, we know that you have been building beef with Leo Rush and the Ricky Stark's younger brother. What's his name?
Top Flight. What is it?
No,
Action
Andretti.
That's it. Yeah, Action Andretti. We all know that they've been pitting Leo Rush and Action Andretti against Top Flight. Why not just have a simple tag match here? Why did Lance Archer and Brian Cage need to be involved? Why did the Outrunners need to be involved? I honestly, it made me. I didn't have any interest in this match in the first place because there was not much really built around it. The only stuff that was built was Top Flight and Leo Rush, and his partner wasn't even involved in the match. He was just with these two others. So I was a bit lost. Don't get me wrong, the match itself was great. I think like people worked well together, and obviously when you've got Top Flight and Leo Rush, who are high flyers, you can always expect like high flying moves to keep the crowd like, loud and awake, which they were. The crowd were into the match. The crowd are up the Outrunners' asses, up their asses so much. I don't know why, but they just love them. So the hype for the match was still quite loud in the stadium. But for me, I just was ready for this match to be over as soon as it started.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing from this match for me was when Tony Schiavone's phone went off. I mean, Jaxie, that's just gold, isn't it? I mean, forget about the match. Tony, you leave
That was brilliant.
On.
That was such a great moment. Yeah, that was such a great moment. Like, I don't know how many people will pick that up, like that were watching, with commentary, but that was the highlight of the moment in the match. Again, kind of like my sister, I don't understand why this wasn't just a tag match. It felt really random to pair the Outrunners with Top Flight when they've not had any interaction. It would have made more sense if Outrunners were teaming up with FTR again. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was no reason for them to be teaming up with Top Flight, but there was also equally no reason why Brian Cage and Lance Archer were ever involved in this match. Like, this ultimately was just like, Tony's way of going, right, how can we make this like a lot more star power? Also, like my sister says, I don't know what everyone's fascination with the Outrunners is, but TK definitely has that fascination too, and wants them on every show, even if they're not doing much. And so that's why they've been placed here on this pre-show. To me, it was just, this match was just there just cause, and it was decent, but it just was unneeded, unwarranted, and just a waste of space, a waste of time. Like, we could have had just an hour, 0 hour, but we got this. So, I mean, overall, I'll give it a 3.25.
Private Party did confront the Hills afterwards, so I suppose we got that. But Monty, again, it's the pre-show ruining a fucking perfect score, isn't it?
Pretty much. And I honestly don't know what else to add. I think you guys hit it all on the head. I mean, I think honestly, Tony needs to consider. It's funny because he usually puts a billion matches on a card, and like I've had people argue with me that even when he would give like 13 match cards, most of his matches would have a reason. But I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the last few 0 hours, in my opinion, it just seems like he throws anything together. And like I don't mind you giving me matches on a pre-show because we beg sometimes WWE to actually give us something. But honestly, I would prefer if you just sit there and talk to me about nonsense or just give me a bunch of promos like WWE do. If you just gonna throw matches together with no purpose just to put them on here, And then if you and it's not even the wrestler's fault. They go out there and they do their best, but it's just like it's hard to care when it's obvious that you guys don't care when you put these combinations together or when you put these teams together. So yeah, it was okay. It was a good. I think everybody did fine or whatever, but I didn't take it serious once I saw everyone in the match because I didn't know why the people that were in this match were in the match. And then, like you guys mentioned, you could only get but so invested. It's like I if I have a problem or if I say that okay, well, why should I care about Darby Allin versus Osprey? What the hell you think I'm gonna say about this match? What the hell you gonna think when it's not anybody half as interesting as that? If you know what I mean, like that's the frustrating part to me. It's like Tony believe his fans will watch anything in that damn anybody, as long as they in AEW, his fans will watch it. And I guess that's true, but I ain't one of them people.
I can't remember the last time you were so pissed off after the last two matches. Like, usually it's quite cool. Maybe 2025 is going to be a little bit different.
I'm much better as the show gets better. So let's just get to the show.
What would you give it out of 5, Monty?
A 3.
I'll give it a 3. And Gina, what was your score? Sorry.
I'll give it a 3 as well.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3. Fuck it. So the WNR Prediction League 2024 is what it's all about. This is after Saturday night's main event before Wales End, which is our last show of 2024. The bonus league, Monty on 24. We've got me on 18, Gina on 16, Jaxie on 11. WWE final score, Monty 1 on 6, with James and Gina on 5, Jaxie on 3. But today it's about AEW and everything, really, after we finish the review. Jaxie and Monty on 4, I'm on 3, Gina's on 2. So we're all on 2 after getting the Outrunners wrong, and I need the win to draw and hope Jaxie and Monty lose, because everybody wants that. Anyway, on to the main show, and the pay-per-view opened with Fletcher taking on Ospreay in the semi-finals of the Continental Classic. Whoever won would go on to face Ricochet versus Okada, and they started going 100 miles an hour as soon as the bell rang and didn't slow down until Fletcher rolled out to regroup. Once he's able to gain the upper hand, Fletcher slowed down a bit so he could taunt the crowd and punish his former friend. Billy Goat was busted open, and Fletcher tasted some of the blood to show how deranged he is. What started as a small cut quickly turned into a true Crimson Mask. After a few incredible reversals, Ospreay hit a Styles Clash for the pin to advance to the finals of the C2. Jaxie, what a way to start the show, eh?
I mean, fucking hell, yeah. They just, like you said, the minute the bell rang, this match went like 100 miles per hour. Like, if you turn to grab your drink or do anything, you missed something. Like, this match was incredible. Like, you could see the amount of trust that both men have within one another. But seriously, it just got so sickening. You know, especially with Kyle and the blood. Like, this was Hangman and Swerve 2.0. It was just, it was absolute carnage. But what a way to start the show. I think it did brilliantly to start the show. And I don't think a better match could have been placed here.
Yeah, right. I mean, you can tell from the handprint on Cole's chest early on that these two mates weren't holding back. And it's funny how that happens, isn't it? Where it seems like friends in the business go even harder than if you don't like each other, which is crazy in a weird way, but shows the respect they have, I suppose.
It does, and again, I think that you're right in saying, you know, like when you pit two friends against each other, they have that amount of level of trust that they can go just as hard with one another because there's still that controlled level of care for the other person. I think, you know, is such a different atmosphere when, you know, there's just pure animosity and hatred, and that comes across even in, you know, sort of the way that either wrestler, you know, like care for one another within the ring. You know, this easily could have ended really badly in multiple different injuries, but thanks to the trust in both men and the fact that they are still friends and have a great respect for each other, they put on an absolute banger where they we all really truly believe they wanted to beat the shit out of each other, but you could tell they took the utmost care with those moves at the same time. It's a bit of a cathartic thing to put across, but it works so well.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, again, can you remember a time Will wasn't stealing the show on an AEW pay-per-view? I mean, Monty, I know you had it in New Japan, but he's doing it again in AEW. He really is the big-time player, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? It's like he always delivers.
Yeah, I try my best not to take him for granted. That's why I just don't talk much about him as much, or just think about it, because I feel like it's unfair to expect what I expect from him. He set the bar pretty much that high at this point for me. Like I said, I've been, like you mentioned, seeing him in New Japan for so long, and even watching him when he was really, really young on the scene in Rev Pro and all of that. He always used to do amazing things, but now it's just he found that perfect. His style is that perfect balance of doing amazing things, but at the same time, you know, giving you a lot of, validity too. And I think a person like a Kyle Fletcher exists because of Osprey and because of that style and because of all of the things he's done to kind of create that type of formula, in my opinion. And so it's kind of funny when I see them do what they do, how similar they are in a lot of ways when it comes to their build and their strength, but at the same time their ability to show speed and their strikes. A lot of that stuff is very similar, so it's not really a surprise when they get in the ring and they just do what they do. And then both matches they've had have been pretty much, top notch. Like I said, I try not to say, well, yeah, this is about what I expect from both guys, but I do expect some of these. But it's like you said, some of the best wrestling you've ever seen, so it's hard to sit back and just be like, this is what I expect. So, yeah, man, just, great stuff from both sides. I really don't need to say anything other than they started off the match with a match that you recommend people to go check out a show for. And I think what better way to get people excited for what's to come other than starting off match? And then you got to be careful because and I think this show had a little bit of that, not completely, because I think everybody performed well as usual as far for AEW. But when you start off a show with a 5-star match, I'm excited as hell, but I'm also worried because it's like, this is not really fair, because now everybody following you got to follow this. So yeah, hats off, but at the same time, they really set a tone.
Yeah, right there. And Gina, I mean, again, it was an incredible match. We could talk about that, but we can also talk about funny moments like the Osprey better sign, which Fletcher ripped up, and then Osprey still better sign popped up in his place. I mean, they were on point, the AEW crowd, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? The AEW crowd are comedians. They really are. There are some random signs that I do spot just in the crowd, even at just Dynamite shows. And yeah, they're just brilliant. I love all of their signs that they have. But the whole, again, this match felt very serious, but little comedic tones like that, like, I really appreciate it. I know a lot of people don't like silliness in wrestling, but I actually do like a bit of silliness, and things like this makes it work, especially when you don't cake too much of it on. That's when it starts to ruin it. But yeah, it was a nice little funny moment in the match, and then just to see another one pop up in its place as if to say, you're not going to ruin our night because we still have another. That was brilliant.
So scores then, Jaxie, what would you give it out of 5?
I'm sorry, I'm talking on mute there. Scores for Osprey and Fletcher. I thought this was a really good hard-hitting match. I'm going to give this a 4.25. I thought it did really great.
4.25. Monty?
Yeah, I give 4.75. Excellent stuff.
Gina?
I'll go with 4.5.
And I went 4.75 as well. I didn't think it was as good as their first one, but again, that's just, I mean, you're picking hairs there, really. Predictions, we went Osprey, so all on 3, and the second semi-final C2 match was up next with Okada taking on Ricochet. With a recent heel turn of Ricochet, Okada became the de facto babyface in this match at least in the eyes of the crowd. And the two men tried to wrestle very different paces. Ricochet tried to use his signature fast-paced Arsenal, while Okada was more measured in his approach. And the current Continental Champion had his hands full with Ricochet's high-flying style, but kept finding ways to keep himself in the fight. Surviving some of Ricochet's best moves, Okada hit the Rainmaker to win, to advance to the finals to face Will Ospreay. As Ricochet was looking despondent in the ring, Swerve Strickland came out of the stage to taunt him, and Prince Nana handed out rolls of toilet rolls to the crowd to throw at Ricochet's at Swerve's request. Lots to cover there. Monty, first off, talk about the match, because again, I know you mentioned in the past, Okada in the kind of middle of the card is still a weird situation to see him in. But how do you think he's doing this? And obviously getting a win against Ricochet. Was there a clash of styles?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this one brought me back though, because it took me back to Ricochet's days in New Japan when he was on at Hantai with Tanahashi, and the few times that they were tagged, they rarely ever fought like this, like 1-on-1. So it was kind of cool to see them kind of throw back to a little bit of the stuff I remember from back in the day. And Ricochet, when he was a junior heavyweight, would always get his ass when Okada got in the ring. So it was kind of cool to kind of see them be more on an equal playing field here. But again, like you mentioned, it's weird. The difference between the first match and this match is I can tell Okada knew he was fighting later. You know, this is nowhere near Top Gear Okada stuff, and you'll see what I mean when we get to that next match. That match later on. But Okada did he was passable. He did what he was, his top, did what his level of wrestling you would expect. And I thought Ricochet represented himself decent enough, but I didn't think this match was anywhere near what you would expect when you go off. When you say Okada versus Ricochet, you go off both of their individual name value. But I thought it was good. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it was bad by any stretch of the imagination. But I didn't think they went out there to try to do what I felt like Fletcher and Ospreay did. And maybe that had a lot to do with the positioning. Like you mentioned, Okada is not used to being this early, but also if Ospreay is going to be first, Ospreay is going to go out there. Again, like I say, you're going against an Ospreay match to kick off your show and set a certain tone. So when Ricochet and Okada come there and it's a different pace, that's just the difference between Okada and Ospreay when it comes to their style. But Ricochet, in my opinion, was fine here. Also, Ricochet has changed. He's changing. He's trying to fight a little bit different than he used to, too. Even though he still can be flashy, you can tell he's trying to incorporate this arrogance that he's kind of bringing across with his character into his wrestling style, too. So, again, I thought this was fine. Really good stuff. I gave it like 4 stars. But, again, I think I've seen both guys go a couple notches above this. But this was still a decent match, and they have really good chemistry.
Yeah, without doubt. And I think what's important as well, Gina, even though Ricochet lost, and again, with his feud with Swerve now as well, it's like, since joining AW, it's been Ospreay, of course, now, we know, this pay-per-view match with Okada, and now Swerve. That's not bad company. Yeah, he might be on the losing end in the end, but again, it's showing his position in AW, which is better where he was last year, so to speak. Better off he is now.
Definitely. He's definitely being showcased with some of the bigger people within the promotion of AEW, So regardless as to the crowd's reaction to him and some of the burying that he's possibly getting with his character, I still think he's still being showcased with the biggest stars on the show. He's still being put in storylines with them because they obviously trust him that much to put on a banger of a match, and they know that he'll work well with them. I have also noticed that he is doing his best to kind of change up his kind of wrestling style a bit. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's still, sporting the high flying wrestling moves, but I can see him trying to improve and change and see what works for his character and what doesn't. And that's something you've always got to appreciate when people that put that much time and effort into trying new things with their character, seeing if it works, and then trying it again the next time, or so I'm not going to be mad at Ricochet for trying all of this out. Do I think he should be, he needs to get a few wins to kind of become a bit more relevant. Yes, I do. But still, I will take the storylines that he's in at the moment because I think he's doing well with his character, even if they've had to make him a heel.
Yeah, I think like that. What would you score the match?
Oh, I'll give that a 4 as well. I thought it was a great match between them both, but I do think that we could have seen more from both of them with each other. So again, I wouldn't mind seeing, like, I don't know, a rematch between these two at some point in the late future.
Yeah, it's like Monty said in it. You kind of knew Okada was wrestling later on, but Jack C, there still was a funny moment in it. Of course, Okada running the ropes and doing that sort of stuff, which again, it's different sides to what we have seen. But hopefully, we can see a more serious Okada. But I know you're a huge fan, no matter what.
I think we were getting a glimpse of what was to come later on in the match, so in the night, so to speak. I think at this point, so it was nice to sort of see glimpses of it, but also just like Monty said, I think we could all tell that Okada was pacing himself at this point, and I don't think that necessarily was a bad thing for Ricochet, because I still think that, as my sister pointed out, there were some really great moments for Ricochet to kind of shine within that match. I think that it did what it really needed to do, and I kind of just enjoyed watching both of them go at it. I also agree with Monty that I just felt like these two worked really well together, and could see like another bout between them going just as hard if they put enough, like a more effort into it. So, I mean, for this, I'm going to give it a 4.25 as well.
4.25. I'm going to give it a 4. Predictions, we all went Okada, so we're all on 4. Ospreay was interviewed and he was fired up. And then we get the Tier 1 street fight for the world title, Mariah May versus Thunder Rosa. And La Mera showed up with a piñata and a chain around her neck. May was wearing cargo pants to show she was taking the street fight seriously. Rosa jumped onto May from the apron to get the match started before she even got to the ring. And the challenger had control until they fought to the stage. They used a variety of different weapons to inflict damage, including chairs, tables, tacks, chains, a bottle of alcohol, and even Rose's dad's cane. Can we just say, what a mustache that was? And in the end, May retained by hitting a Storm Zero power driver through a table to get the pin. Gina, what were your thoughts on this manic match?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I know that, like, she was taking it seriously, but I kind of find it funny with Thunder Rosa a little bit, because like she does what I would call, again, is kind of a black people thing. I just say she's extra, because sometimes she just goes over the top. And when, like, we saw her dad in the crowd, to be honest, I was like, that's where she gets it from. Because he kind of gave the same energy. But I'm not gonna lie, I was here for it. I enjoyed it. I always enjoy Thunder Rosa matches because I know that she actually, dedicates herself to really putting in the work and to put on a great match. So for me, I thought it was a good match. I didn't go into this match thinking that she would outright win it. If she did, I would have been super shocked. But I still think she gave a really great match against Mariah. And Mariah just, she continues to use these tactics to get herself to win. But they work for her. I don't know if I'm a bit biased, though, because I am a little bit in love with Mariah May. So I could be seen as being biased here. But I do love how her tactics work. And I love her bitchy face. She's just great.
I know you love her, but can you just answer why? Well, I mean, why does she hate family members so much? It's I don't know what it is. If it's her own mum or someone's dad or brother.
Yeah, do you know how I see it? Like, she sees it as, like, obviously, if I could do this to my own family, then no one can, like, get above me, sort of thing. Like, that's how ruthless I am. So that's the kind of, like, the way I'm seeing it. But I could be totally wrong there too.
Oh my God!
I mean, I actually more see it like Mariah just kind of takes joy in, mocking her opponent's families and getting under her skin. That's how I took it.
I mean, it's true. But talk about Thunder Rosa quickly, Jaxie, as well. I mean, I like her, but do you feel she's hit a ceiling in AEW? Like, again, it's if you're not going to be world champion, then we're going to see we know she's a good character and has got this emotion and the connection with the crowd, but it's just not her time at the moment, is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what? I feel like the best thing to say is there's not much for Thunder Rosa right now at AEW, and like that's not insulting. That's not an insult to her. That's more the case of, she was kind of like at her hypest moment during everything that was going down with Britt Baker. But like they then didn't like continue to like keep having her hitting any peaks. So it's almost like she's kind of died off a little bit now. And now that she's probably like, at her highest again, with health wise and everything, right now there's nothing else for her because there's a lot more attention going towards some of the other women on the roster. So I'm not sure where things go from here, but I do know that if you've got Thunder Rosa in a match, you're going to have a decent match, a decent outcome. She's going to push those women to really challenge themselves in the ring, and I think that is exactly what she did with Mariah in this match. There was another level of ruthlessness that you saw come as a result of Mariah's wrestling, her tactics. They're getting dirtier, these tactics, and that is exactly what you want from a heel character. I think that Mariah as a heel champion was a bit of a slow burner at first, but like the more she is in this role, the more she's growing, and I think that this match actually did help continue to like kind of showcase the character that Mariah May has become, or not even become, but who she really was before all of this with Toni Storm and like her true colors. So I kind of felt like this match was quite enjoyable from an aspect of, Thunder Rosa being the veteran and actually really challenging Mariah May to, come at her with her best.
Yeah, I mean, and this is the thing as well, and again, to elaborate the point a little bit, is, and Monty, maybe you can help now, is the fact of, like, I'm worried about Mariah May a little bit after the Tony Storm thing, because like we said, we kind of know what's going to happen, and I just don't want her to be lost in the shuffle like Thunder Rosa is now after everything goes down,
Yeah, and that's up to the way. I mean, based on the history of the way things are booked, you're 100% right in your fear because it just seems to be one of those things to where, unfortunately, since the Tony, it seems like the only person they want to give Mariah an actual angle with is Tony Storm. Like you seem like we at this point, even with Thunder Rosa, as much respect as everybody has for Thunder Rosa, uh, it still feels like we're just waiting for Tony Storm or waiting for Australia or whatever we are for Mariah May's Tony Storm and Mariah May and Tony Storm next chapter of their feud. So when you think about that, it definitely, like you mentioned, makes you worry, make you wonder what would be next. And but I'm not gonna act like I have any indication. I think the spot that Thunder Rosa seems to be has taken right now is like this role of a more hardcore version. I know some people may look at this like a disrespect, but I love Natty, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But like a hardcore version of Natty, like she's gonna get the best. We know she's gonna perform with. She's gonna get the best out of who she's fighting with. But if it's for a title or if a big match, we don't expect her to pull it out at this point, and that's kind of crazy. It's kind of insane when you think about the early days of AEW or the earlier days of AEW and how she felt like she was just as big, or if not just as important as a Britt Baker, and like so. It's one of those things that's really interesting with the Thunder Rosa. What will it take to get her, if she ever will get back to the top of that mountain? And honestly, I just feel like what they need more defined divisions, in my opinion, when it comes to the TBS. Like I know Mercedes got the TBS title locked down, but it just seemed like both championships up outside. If you don't have a feud going on with the women's champion at the time, you seem far as hell away from that position or from a championship level position. And I don't know what they're gonna do to try to kind of solve that problem. But this match was good. It was tolerable. It was very fun. I think that's the best way that I can describe it. A lot of fun moments. The pile driver to finish was insane.
Yeah.
And I think honestly, it's like you said, at this point, I'm numb. At this point, I'm numb to Thumbtack. I don't even get excited when I see the reveal. Like I'm almost expecting them. I'm just like, hey, Thumbtack. There we go. They did what they always do. But I give the girls credit though, because they went out there and they had fun, and I thought it was entertaining, so I can't complain too much. But yeah, I think honestly, what you guys are talking about when it comes to people's positioning, or women, especially in the women's division, they're gonna have to. AEW is gonna have to figure out how to actually build something outside of these title feuds, and if you're gonna actually make it a title feud, then give it the same effort that you gave the Mariah May Tony Storm story and stuff like that. And that's kind of like what I want to see going forward.
Yeah, without doubt. So scores then, Gina, what would you give it out of 5?
I'll give it 3 3/4.
3 3/4. Jaxie?
I gave this a 4.
For Monty?
Yeah, 3 3/4.
And I gave it 4 1/4. Predictions were May, so all on 5. MJF versus Adam Cole next, and Cole was the first to strike after the bell rang, but was bleeding after being run into the steel steps, so MJF tried to open the wound up more by sending him into the ring post. And the former world champ saw Cole land hard on his injured leg and immediately went after it with a chop block. A few minutes later, MJF was busted open too. He pulled out an old trick and faked an injury, as if Taven and Bennett attacked him to get them ejected. That allowed him to grab the Dynamite Diamond Ring to use as a weapon, but Cole saw it coming and hit a super kick. MJF hit a low blow, followed by a Heat Seeker for the pin and the win. And afterwards, Roderick Strong Kyle O'Reilly showed up and took out MJF, helping Cole to his feet. So, Jaxie, the feud that won't end might have just ended. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I kind of like. I was. It's bittersweet. I'm glad that this is kind of over. I feel like both men really do need to move into different storylines. I think Monty put it perfectly earlier when like kind of discussing the shortcomings of like sort of this feud and how it really should have been finished earlier on, and it was due to not one particular person's fault that it couldn't have been finished sooner. So this was falling a bit bland. So I think in some way it felt kind of relieving to finally get this match done. But also, like again, I feel like I say this at every match that he's in, but I still say it. Why am I not surprised that this is the outcome for MJF's match? Like this is exactly what we expect from him. We talked about this, I think. It could have been maybe last year. It could have been even earlier this year when we talked about the fact that he sort of made history with like the diamond ring and like being the sole holder of this ring for so long. So why not keep him on him another year right now? Like if anything, I would have worried if Adam Cole won the diamond ring, whether or not MJF was not going to let that shit go, and then this was going to continue. So I feel like in a way this sort of thing had to happen in order for this sort of feud to be done with, and both men can hopefully move on into better years. But overall, the match itself, it was good. I think that Adam is definitely coming back out of like sort of injury and getting there in terms of just sort of like the level of hype that he had in the ring compared to like NXT to now. Like he's definitely rebuilding himself back up. So I'm excited to see where things go for both men here. But I was not shocked by any of the tactics that MJF pulled during this match. I expected them. I would have been more shocked if they weren't in this match. So yeah, this went exactly how I thought it would go.
Yeah, I mean, and again, Monty, as we've said before with AEW, it can be good or bad, but when you see an MJF match, like I said, usually gets kind of long pay-per-view entrance and all this lot, and gets his 20 minutes and whatever it is. But again, it is the same thing whether you love or hate him.
Yeah, I think honestly that's the thing about it with Max. It just depends on where you stand on. If you're, I think he's one of those guys that I don't even have. I get it. either way. Like if you think he's one of the best, if you can acknowledge that he's one of the best young talent, or he's deserving of having the show built around him at times and all of that, or he's that good, then I agree, and I think I see that. But at the same time, you're telling me all he does is do cheap heat promos and his matches. You know how they're gonna end for the most part, and he's kind of like a one trick pony so far in his career, but I think he's already kind of proven some of that wrong, but I also understand the sentiment behind it. And so he's one of those guys that I think if you don't like him, I get it. He's one of those guys if you love what he's doing, what he's done, I also get it. And I think Adam Cole, the ankle injury was pretty bad, so he's definitely a long ways away from where he was. But I also just think Adam Cole is just more natural. He's a better heel. I think even in our Ring of Honor and NXT, it's crazy. He's such a nice guy in reality, and I think that's probably why some people may think he works well as a babyface, and he can do it. I just think Adam Cole as a heel is always the best version of him. So, it's one of those things that
Yeah,
is
I
kind of
have to
funny.
agree with that.
Yeah, it's one of those things that is kind of funny how that kind of works out. How he's a nice guy outside the ring, but as a heel, I think he's just better suited for it on television. So, but we had another United reunion, and that's cool. We'll see where that goes. I'm not too interested in much of it, but I think the best outcome, in my opinion, would be if the Undisputed, if they just kind of team up and he does like maybe trio stuff, or just do more things to get them more in the swing of things, get those guys more comfortable, get them back in the ring more. And I think his match quality will go even better. But this was okay. I heard people telling me, I had people saying it was bad, and I was like, you guys must really don't know what bad is. Was it the greatest thing I've ever seen, or was it as good as a lot of stuff on this card? Probably not. But I don't think it was bad, and I didn't mind the result. I only kind of went with Adam Cole because I was thinking of it more practical. But the way you just explained it before about Max winning could make this be over, 100% agree. I get it. And it's like I was thinking the opposite route. Either way it go, I just wanted it over. That was my thought process. So I'm just like, whether he wins it or not, I don't really care what happens to the damn ring because I almost forgot about the rings. I forget about that ring's existence all the time, to be honest. So I just wanted it over. I'm gonna be real. So hopefully it's done, and hopefully
Seriously,
Max
I think
winning like that
Max.
just means it's
I
done.
think Max is the only one who gives a shit about that ring. To be honest,
Exactly. It's not. We got
so
too many
shut up
title
him.
belts for me to put too much
Yeah,
stock in a damn ring. Okay, we got too many belts.
just
So,
leave the ring on Max and just let him pump it up because that's the only time it
yes.
finds relevance is when Max is like preaching on about it.
Right. So let them keep that. Who cares about it? I hope this is over, and maybe next year, or maybe with enough time passed by, they can revisit and they can tell the story they wanted to tell originally. But I think we all can agree that this can be over. But I gave it
Yeah.
like I gave it 3 3/4. I thought it was good.
Well, again, it'd be nice if the Undisputed Kingdom get together and find out what happened to the trio titles. Because we don't know where they are at the moment. Hopefully they still exist. But Gina, I think the issue with this, and especially with this matchup, is because we were there watching it. The very first All In, 80,000 people there, or how many people paid, I don't care. Main eventing and being the hottest storyline in AEW, and then like this. And again, I understand they had to finish it, but it did end in a whimper more than a bang,
Yeah, I think like again for me, I was disappointed that Adam Cole didn't get the win in terms of, he was the one who went off with injury, so he could come back and get that win and say, okay, now I've shut that chapter on you, Max. But it's just like what Monty says. I kind of was just ready for this feud to be over. When you keep thinking back to the fact that we saw the main event for the first All In London, like, yeah, it's just the fact that the difference between then and now, it's just like, Jesus, we didn't finish this story. And again, I know it's because of an injury delayed the outcome, but still, man, they should have just never revisited upon Chugs' return and then worked it back into another angle. if they wanted to. Like you said, later on down the line, maybe it will be a better match. But I think at this point, MJF needs to go up to Tony and say, this ring is just going to stay with me forever now, because I don't think it'll be relevant on anyone else. And Tony can just abolish the whole fight for the diamond ring because it's irrelevant. And yeah, just get into some other storylines for both sides. And I agree with Monty as well. I think Adam Cole was so much better as a heel. I still remember how he was the biggest heel in NXT with his undisputed era, I think they were at the time. I think that's what they were called. But either way, his character just worked so well as a heel. He pulled the best facial expressions when he got screwed over in matches. It was just awesome. And in a way, he reminded you of a heel MJF. So yeah, I think it would be nice to see him go heel at some point in the future. But let's just not do MJF and Chugs for a while now, please.
Yeah. What would you score the match, Gina?
Oh, I'll give it a 4.
4. Jaxie, what was your score?
I'm going to give this a 3 3/4.
3 3/4. I'll give it a 4. Predictions: Monty and Gina went for Cole. James and Jaxie went MJF. So Monty, Gina on 5. James and Jaxie on 6. As we head to the AEW International title, Kazuchika Takeshita versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Powerhouse is used to having a big size advantage over his opponents, but Takeshita is a big dude as well. So they looked pretty even when they started trading shots. The challenger took control early and began dominating the alpha, but Takeshita started focusing on the knee that took Hobbs out for several months. They worked this match with a methodical pace that allowed him to sell every move a bit more. Hobbs was having a knee injury for most of the match, so of course that impacted the pacing too. Hobbs put in a great effort, but ultimately came up short. Takeshita picked up the clean win with his finisher to retain his title. Monty, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, man, this was one of those matches that I was kind of anticipating to see how it would go, because we know what Takeshita can do, and I think we know what he brings to the table usually. And it wasn't the prettiest thing at times, but I thought they did I thought that kind of helped them, because we got two strong powerhouse. Even though we know Takeshita can be explosive, we got two tough guys who, sometimes your matches don't have to be, it don't have to be pretty, it don't have to. Everything don't have to be executed perfectly, but I thought what the thing they did do, and the psychology that was involved in the match was a nice touch. And I think that for anybody who thought, like I said, we know what Takeshita can do. I think all of us and a lot of people who have been able to just watch Takeshita and grow and watch his matches, we have seen for a long time just how great he is. And I thought this was a great match, especially coming off of an injury, for Hobbs to show people that he's one of those names. He's one of those people. He's one of those talent I was talking about when I mentioned giving so much TV time to other people. Hobbs is one of those guys that we need to see more of. He's one of those guys that need more of a character. Even though I like what he does already, but I'm just saying he needs more promo time. He needs more wrestling time. He needs more people's attention, because he's one of those AEW kind of like original guys who is very unique. And I think that's some of those things that I think AEW misses sometimes. I love the characters that we see all the time, of course, but they don't focus on the people who are different from anybody else for the enough, in my opinion. And I think, Will Hobbs is a great example of it. And I thought this match was a great showcase for what he can do in there with a guy that we all respect technically. So I thought this was really good, man. I gave it 4. I didn't think it was like a Matt classic, but I didn't come into it expecting it. But I thought what my expectations was for Takeshita to kind of do what he always do, but show us that he can get that type of effort or a similar type effort from a guy like Will Hobbs, who I think is only going to get better the more he's in these situations. And that's kind of like what I want to see. Hopefully this year, barring injury, we get a Will Hobbs spotlight on a lot of these important shows, and it's just not one of these times where we look at the World's End and be like, oh, Will Hobbs is there, and then by the end of the year, I'm thinking about my list about who was better off last year, and I'm wondering what the hell was Will Hobbs doing. You know what I mean? Hopefully he's involved, like I said, I know injuries come into play and all of that, but Will Hobbs deserves this, and I hope this is a sign that going into this year, we going into a strong year for Will Hobbs, no matter what that means he's going to be doing. So yeah, I thought this was good.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing in it, Gina. I know you're a fan of Hobbs, but it's after watching this match and going, why haven't they used him more? Like, they've got guys, I know, like Wardlow and other people out, but Hobbs is there. You know, he's had screen time. Like Monty said, he's one of the originals, and it's like, what's the issue here? And again, Takeshita getting a performance out of him is great, but, you know, it's like, Hobbs is ready nearly.
Yeah, he definitely is. Like, do you remember, like, I swear there was a time where he was, like, tagged with, like, John Mox at one point. You know, like, he's just been here, there, and everywhere. And like you said, I don't think he gets enough recognition for just what the matches he's had, the injuries he's come back from, the matches he's gone on to have after. I really enjoyed this match. I really liked Takeshita. But him and Hobbs, they just seem so evenly matched, and that's rare to see, for especially in a match with Hobbs. Again, he's not showcased as much, so when you do see him in random rampage matches against two nomads that you have to pause the screen just to check their names for. He's gonna, like, smash through them. So this match was great in terms of seeing Takeshita actually counter some of Hobbs's moves, pick Hobbs up, because not a lot of people have picked Hobbs up, you know. I would put that on my CV if I was Takeshita. But I definitely think that, like, they both gave it their all, and I would like a future match between them. I wouldn't mind, like, you know, just grudges between them both, because they know they're so evenly matched or evenly, you know, sized with each other, that there's just constant grudge matches here or there where they just both keep facing off against each other. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed it for sure, but they need to use more.
Yeah, but again, like I said, this is a problem, isn't it? Like, you feel Takeshi's losing his momentum a little bit, not really sure what to do. Hobbs, and I mean, Jaxie, the build up for this was basically Hobbs having a couple of, like, squash matches and maybe like a backstage segment. I mean, to have a match on paper, you need more than that. You need time to kind of develop it as well. You know what I mean? To actually make the fans care, because the fans were using this as a kind of rest break at certain points.
Yeah, I definitely think that that there's a lot of great points that have been made by both my sister and Monty. But the one thing that is definitely clear is that it's going to be a big year for Will Hobbs if he's showcased right, and if he's, given the screen time like Monty says, like he needs, and like you said, like, he does need to work on his promo work. He needs to work on being given the time to win over the crowd, and actually get them on his side. But this is like, a promising sort of, like, this is what I see, like, from, like, AEW have so much potential with him. He's like a young Keith Lee, in the sense of, like, you've got time to really, like, grow him as a wrestler. You could grow his character and start working on that now, because I think they've got something really special with Will Hobbs. And I think that this was only the beginning. Just like my sister said, I'd love to see a round 2 of these two guys go. And I think that this was an excellent way to showcase and rebring Will Hobbs back into talking points, So hopefully the only way is up for Will Hobbs in his return. But he does need to have more meaningful matches, not just, squash matches. That he's had these, like, 2-on-1 nomad squash matches, which none of us are ever gonna, like, even bat an eyelash at. And it's not because we think that 2-on-1, ever for Will Hobbs would be a challenge. But when they're puny, small, tiny guys that you're putting in the ring with him, you're just kind of not showcasing what we kind of need, to see from him, what he can deliver. The type of challenges he needs are the type of wrestlers like Takeshita, who really do challenge Will Hobbs to actually go above and beyond just being a big guy, So hopefully this is, like, a good starting point for him. But this was definitely a great match between the two of them. I gave this a 4.25. just because I was really enjoying this match. And to be honest, I felt halfway through like it could have been a free for all. Like it could have been that Will Hobbs would have picked up the win. So yeah, I'm excited for both men and what the year is looking like for both of them. I think both of them are going to be big names to kind of watch out for in 2025.
Yeah, without doubt. Gina, what would you score that match?
I gave it a 4.25.
4.25. Yeah, I gave it a 4 as well. Right, what we got up next? I'll tell you what's funny as well. Please be careful instead of you fucked up chance. Shows the respect that they had for them as well. Prediction wise, we all went to Takeshita apart from Jaxie. So I'm on 7. The rest are on 6. I couldn't, could I? Could I really? Anyway, we see Okada saying Will is not on his level, bitch. And then up next, we get the TBS title with Mercedes Moné versus Chris Statlander. And the former champion immediately established a power advantage by pushing Moné to the mat during the first lockup. The CEO used her quickness and agility to combat Statlander's strength. She broke a few rules here and there, but never relied on anything that was too illegal. Statlander moved her boot to avoid a count out because she was stuck on part of the ring, but the CEO stayed in there and hit a tombstone pile drive on the apron and almost took her out of the match completely. Again, this was a great contest between the two. You need to watch this. I can't really do it justice. In the end, Statlander won't give up, but it was Moné getting a pinning combination to get the free. Gina, what are your thoughts on this? And again, might be the first time ever, but it was the longest match of the night, and it was a women's title. It was the TBS title.
Yeah, I mean, this match was just awesome. Honestly, it was, like you just said, we're not going to give it justice. Like, if you're going to go back and watch a match, like, watch this one, especially the fact that it's a ladies' match. And I didn't even realize until you literally just mentioned it that they had the longest match on the match card. Is that actually true?
Yeah, it's true. It went like 25 minutes.
That's sick. Like, I'm actually really pleased for them both. I think
AEW history too, by the way.
Really?
Is it?
Yeah, no, they've never had a women's match go that long in their history. So that was like, I saw people bragging on that, and I was like, that's great, but it's also it's also not. But yay! I'm happy they
Around
did
now?
it finally.
It's like what after this many years, and you're only just like reaching that sort of thing now, like.
What's
And it's not even the fact that it was 25 minutes, like 20 minutes. They no women's matches ever went over 20 minutes.
Wow.
So
That's madness.
That's
But
shit.
again, I'm actually pleased for both Chris and Mercedes for achieving that then. But I'm kind of torn with this because I had a feeling Mercedes was going to win, but I felt like Chris needed the win. Chris has been just in so many great matches and stories over the past year. You know, her feud with Willow Nightingale was just really up there in terms of like storylines and feuds. And I just think her performance as a female wrestler is one of the top in AEW. So it is really surprising that she didn't pick up the win here. But in a way, I also understand because I have a feeling they wanted Mercedes to go into, you know, the upcoming New Japan promotions, you know, being double champ. Yeah, I'm kind of torn because I'm happy Mercedes won, but I also kind of wish Stat won, you know?
Yeah. Well, hopefully, I don't know about you, Jaxie, where you think this is going, but, you know, maybe the next time they meet, if there is a next time, you know, Chris can actually get the job done because she's pushed Moné harder than anybody else. And another thing I'll say, Moné now, especially the past couple of months, has the run kind of outshone even Mariah May at this moment as being a top woman in AEW?
I mean, like this match certainly helps sort of like create an argument around that case. I think that this was a really great match. I think that this is probably some of the best work that Mercedes has done since coming to AEW. And I'm not saying just based on this, but you know, like even the previous match that she had with Chris, I think that one went even better. You know, but there is a debate in terms of what's being given. I think like, I think it goes back to originally what we were talking about in Mariah May's match with, right now with there being so much like question behind when is Tony gonna like call out Mariah? When are they gonna re-pick this back up? Like there doesn't seem to be any excitement behind a potential person that could take the belt from Mariah. Whereas with Mercedes right now, you are having a lot more frequent matches. She is being a lot more frequently showcased on the show at the moment within matches, not just promos. There's a lot of scope and a lot of argument as to who could be the woman that takes the belt from Mercedes. So yeah, like I think that there is still an argument there right now to feel like to say like TBS championship right now can feel hotter because it kind of feels like we don't know who's going to be taking that belt from Mercedes. We kind of know who's going to end up taking that off of Mariah because they're protecting her so much, building up to whatever it is with Tony. So yeah, there's an argument there, but it's not. I don't think it's necessarily the women's fault, but more like the bookings in this current run. Either way, I am a lot like my sister in my thoughts, just really going towards what is there for Stat now, because this has been like her third chance, and she was cleanly pinned, so it's kind of like I wonder where things go for her at this point because she's been so up and down. First, she was turning in, she was a heel, she was against Willow, and then we got no explanation as to why she turned back all of a sudden and she's a face again. Then she's, being really built up and showcased well to actually be a strong contender for taking this belt off Mercedes to not land it like 2 or 3 times now. So it just kind of feels like I don't know what direction is to go for a Stat now. But yeah, it's definitely exciting. I think that Mercedes is finally being able to make a stamper in AEW that actually builds frustration in the women's division that is making all these women hungry for the challenge. So it's exciting to see in that aspect. And I thought that this match held up really well. It's a shame that this is like a history-making match of going so long. And it wasn't even that long a match compared to all the male matches that we've had that has gone on way longer. But it's a start. Well, hopefully Tony will learn from here, but we'll see.
Not to shit on Tony Khan a bit more, but I don't know if this would have gone as long as if he didn't watch Strong Style Evolve and the Monet match there, Monty. Or am I being unfair on Tony Khan? Was he always going to book this 25 minutes?
Well, no, you're probably not being fair, not being unfair to him. But I think honestly, if you really been paying attention, if you look at it, Mercedes, as the match has went by and as the angles have gone by and as she's been becoming more, you just think about how they promoting the stadium show they're going to try to do in America over here in Texas, and how Mercedes, instead of a Mariah May, being one of, even though I think Mariah was there too, one of the leading promoters or people that they're trying to get to do these press conferences and stuff. No, they have Mercedes there, and that, so like slowly but surely, she's like almost every month. If you just look at whatever Mercedes has going on as far as wrestling, she's getting Tony to kind of open up more and more, give women more and more of a spotlight when it comes to storytelling and all that type of stuff. And I don't want to give her all the credit because I'm sure it's not just that, but I think he invested a lot in her, and I think that with that investment comes, you're going to start using or doing more for that talent and for, not just that talent, but just also because you're doing more for that talent, that means you're by proxy doing more for the women. So I'm just hopeful that even if it has to be all given to Mercedes first, let's just hope that trends and it starts to be given to multiple women, and in the future, all the women are starting to get that. The thing is, Tony has not given us much to be optimistic about his focus outside of the Tony Storms, outside of what he's giving Mercedes, or even with the Mariah May. Since Tony Storm is not involved, you see how fast narratives and actual like storytelling. I mean, I guess you could say the Mina stuff was an attempt at that too. But yeah, they kind of the priority of it has kind of gone down since then. So we'll see if Mercedes do give up the TBS title to someone. Does the TBS championship feel as important? Do you still give these matches to other women? That's the interesting thing. I don't right now. I'll probably say no. But hey, who knows? Maybe this opens more doors. And if you know anything about Mercedes, that's pretty much been her goal. That's pretty much been her talking point since joining AEW, and pretty much what she claims she wants in general. She wants to kind of do what she did or what her and other what the four horsewomen did in WWE. She kind of want to do it in a sense for AEW. Is it a completely different situation? Yes, but she want to open those doors. She want more women to be more of the focus, and maybe just maybe Tony will listen and see, because of how well reviewed a lot of this stuff that she's starting to do now. Maybe just maybe you get more opportunities down the line for other women. And so we can try to be optimistic about it, and that's until he shows us otherwise. We're gonna try to be optimistic. But yeah, I mean, this was excellent stuff. I honestly I don't know what to tell you other than the fact that Statlander and Mercedes. I'm just gonna kind of say what she said. She feels like she's found another one of her wrestler soulmates. And if you know anything about Mercedes, I think the only other people she's kind of branded that with was Bayley and Bianca. So she's adding
Yeah, I was
Chris
going
to
to say
high.
too.
Say it again.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like she said that once about Bailey, that she was like a
Yeah,
wrestler
definitely
soulmate.
Bayley, but she also mentioned Bianca was also
Mm,
someone that she viewed in that light. So that
mm.
just shows you what she thinks about Chris. So if Chris does, I wouldn't be surprised if Chris is the one to take this offer. But even if it's not, I think that just shows you, or that should just put more stamps on how we all feel about Chris. Because before Mercedes ever showed up, I think we all knew that, barring her injuries, because we know she had problems with injuries too, she pretty much is one of the top women, if not the top women in a woman in AEW. So yeah, this was great, and I think I would love for them to do a chapter 3 at one point. It's probably going to be a stipulation match. Can't wait to see how they decide to do that, if they decide to do it. And yeah, I mean, it's very interesting because honestly, I'm still waiting. They've been kind of teasing it. I still want to see an eventual Athena and Mercedes match. Will that be for a bunch of gold? That will be the question, I guess. Or will it just have to be for Athena's gold? Will Athena lose her belt before that? It's a lot of questions there. But I would love eventually for us to get to that point. But if Chris is the one to take the belt off Mercedes, I would not be mad, because if you look at the match quality, you can't tell me anybody else deserves it.
Yeah, about that. So scores then, Gina. What would you give out of 5?
Yeah, I gave this a 4 3/4.
4 3/4. Jaxie.
This also got 4 3/4 from me.
Monty.
Yeah, I gave it 4.5.
And I gave it 4 3/4. Predictions, we all went Monet apart from Jaxie, because she's thrown it away now. You just threw it away, Jax. Jaxie's at 6. Monty Gina on 7.
I'm so pissed. I'm so pissed.
I couldn't be happier when I saw that. I
Of
was like,
course. Shut
what
up.
has she done
Shut up.
here? Why? I was like, oh my God.
I thought I'd, try and risk it. My breath failed.
Oh, thank God. So we move on to the final, the Continental Classic. Kazuchika Okada versus Will Ospreay. And a heavily bandaged Will with blood still on his gear. He did look tired. But after the Rainmaker's first shot, it seemed to fire Ospreay up. When they took the fight to the outside, Okada began to focus more on Ospreay's head. He removed the bandage Ospreay was wearing and walked like an armband for a moment. Ospreay had a short burst of offense, but for a long time, Okada had him reeling from his injuries. He didn't start to make his big comeback until the final couple of minutes of the match. After several counters and close 2 counts, Okada finally hit the Rainmaker for the pin and the win, with Okada shaking Will's hand afterwards. A moment later, Kenny Omega made a return to AEW to present Okada with his championship. Jaxie, a lot going on there, but what are your thoughts on the match?
Yeah, this match just went hard. This was an awesome match, in my opinion. From beginning to end, there was just like you could tell that they brought New Japan, like they brought both Will Ospreay and Okada from New Japan into this match. Like they just like sort of went back to like the basics of what they know about each other from their time in New Japan, and it was just brilliant. It was really well done, and just yeah, I just thought it was incredible. Like from beginning to end, it felt very much like how I described the Kyle Fletcher Will Ospreay match, where if you looked away, like something different happened. Like both Will and Okada were so evenly matched that like either one of them were just constantly like overpowering the other, and it wasn't like just one sided at this point. So it was a really tough call, this match, I think, because there were certain moments where I was like, nah, Will had that. How did he kick out? And I would be the same with Okada, you know? So it definitely had uh, so many connotations that made you feel like, you know, could we see this match happen again at some point later down the line? So I don't think we've seen the end of these two facing off within AEW, but it was just a brilliant showcase of how well one another what they know each other, and just like how brilliant a wrestler both of them are.
Yeah, without a doubt, you know. They did mention Okada's superior record over Ospreay. But, Monty, this is a question I actually want to ask you. Is there a wrestler who actually has more wins than losses against Okada? Can I assume Okada's got a superior record against everybody in Japan that he faced?
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much the truth. It might be a couple wrestlers he's even with, and it'll be people that you wouldn't even really expect. But for the most part, yeah, I don't think there's anybody with a dominant, like a win-loss record better than him. Pretty much. I mean, him and Suzuki definitely had like a draw, and then it was. I know he lost a couple matches to Suzuki, but he usually gets his wins back. So like at best, you like 2-2 or whatever or something like that. Like even with Fale, Bad Luck Fale, a big guy over in Japan, has beaten him a couple times. Maybe I think interestingly enough, I don't quite remember if he ever beat Jonah. I think he did beat him, but if so, he definitely lost to Jonah twice. So again, the big guys usually have a chance, but usually he always gets it back. So anybody that he would be like 0 and something against, or 1-5 or whatever, I would have to look it up. But for the most part, since 2012, you gotta understand he had multiple title reigns where he barely lost, and even when he wasn't the champion, he barely lost. You know, he was the greatest G1 Climax wrestler of all time. So yeah, man, his record is impeccable, and Ospreay is great, but he always is. That's why he calls him little bro. It's not a disrespectful thing when Okada is calling him little brother. He looked at him as a little brother in a lot of ways, and the biggest a big way is in that way that Ospreay has rarely come close to really ever beating him, and so even in America, it's kind of that's the one thing I kind of got a kick out of watching this match. Is just like, don't matter if you run to the other side of the world or Ospreay, you still ain't better than Okada. And
Well,
I just thought it was great. What's up?
I was about to say, and also on top of that, I don't want to annoy you here, but they kept saying about Okada winning this now accomplishes, like, Chono's record on the G1. Do you count it as such, or do you just like that's bollocks because it's not G1?
Yeah, no, I don't count it. It's not the G1. You got a weekend, but you got like a couple days in between each match. You know what the hell the G1 is, Jay.
Yeah,
Like, come on, bro. Like, it's like it's a match every other damn night, pretty much. And you only every now and then you get a couple of days. Those matches are like 30 matches in 29 days, or sometimes, but in total even more than that if you go off depending on the block size and all of it. The Continental Classic is not paced like that. They don't want to hurt anybody. The matches are nowhere near as long as your average G1 matches. So because you got to be on your own television time. So no, there's nowhere near that. But again, just showing you once again that they are trying to be the G1. They have. I guess I respect them for at least mentioning Toronto.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
don't want to annoy you.
no, yeah. You accomplished your goal. But it was great to see Okada winning the tournament again. It felt like old time. But you know what? They need to fix this. I need streamers. I need a big ass trophy. I need, like, if you're gonna do this, if you're gonna act like you the G1, then go out like the G1 does with their celebrations. You saw what Naito won is, or like Zach this year, and how that the energy in the arena and the way it looked when you win those finales, even though it's not. But having this right before a world title match, and it just felt like another match. And again, great, love you, Kenny. Awesome to see you. If you want to see Okada take something serious, I think Kenny is definitely going to make him take things seriously. Even Kenny, I think, as far as his record goes, is a situation where instead of it being either one of them better than the other, they got like that 60-minute draw and they got all that. So yeah, so either way it goes, though, it's great to see Kenny back, and I love them teasing involvement. I hope they put off that, because I don't want, as much as I like the Continental Belt and all of that, I want that to be over the big gold belt that Moxley's carrying around. Hopefully, Tony can restrain himself and let Omega get back to the top of the company first, or let Okada get there and then let us get Omega and Okada. But we'll see. Tony usually doesn't have the best.
I agree.
He doesn't have the best. He can't hold himself back a lot when it comes to these matches. Who knows? Might be on a Dynamite in the middle of February.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Exactly. So, great match. I knew it was gonna be great. I don't want to come off that way, but this is 5 stars easily for me. They don't ever really not give you 5-star efforts when it comes to Okada. But then, like I said, I did chuckle to myself because I was like, he was playing around with Ricochet for about 10, 15 minutes, and he goes out there and he gives Ospreay a classic Okada performance. I really thought that was funny, and this is for all those people. I thought this was a great example for all those people who told me Okada is just skating and getting a check. He's taking it off. He's not taking AEW seriously. This match was him taking it seriously. I'm not saying he's not having fun for the most part at this point in his career, but I am saying this was a great taste of what the number one guy in New Japan is all about right here. 5 stars.
Yeah, I think you're bang on there. And Gina, I think, like we said, this is probably Okada's best performance in AEW, and it seems destiny that's going to be with Kenny Omega. But I was a bit shocked about Okada's kind of height difference on Omega. Even though these two had classic matches, I was like, I didn't know Omega was so small compared.
Yeah, for sure. When Kenny got in the ring, the thing is, when Kenny stood at the top of the ring, looking down, they look like they're on the same level. They look like they're on the same page. And then the minute he got in the ring, I even noticed, I was like, whoa, was Kenny always short? Or have I just never really noticed how tall Okada really is, So that was just quite funny to notice. But again, I loved this match, guys. I thought it was amazing. And James, I'm just going to give you my 5 stars now.
Yeah, no probs. Jaxie?
Sorry, I thought I already said my score, but it was 5-star, yeah.
That's 5 anyway, yeah. I even loved like the wrist control towards the end, like a proper matchup, if you know what I mean. I'm going to give that a 5 as well. Predictions, you went Okada, so I'm on 9, Monty Gina on 8, Jaxie on 7. If we get to the main event, which saw Moxley defend the world title against Jay White, Adam Page, and Orange Cassidy in the fatal 4-way. Mox rolled out the ring and watched his opponents argue till Orange Cassidy hit him with a suicide dive. White and Page soon followed, and all 3 men started beating on the leader of the Death Riders. Marina Shafir, Willie Uta, and Claudio freely interfered because why not? There are no DQs, and who cares anyway? All 3 opponents put Mox through a table. Page tried to win the match by going after Cassidy. From that point forward, it was every man for himself. Hangman would have had the match won if the ref hadn't been taken out a few minutes earlier. It looked like White was going to win. Uta attacked the ref to stop the count. Mox was able to retain the title by hitting White with a Death Rider for the win. And we looked like the Death Riders were going to keep attacking. FTR and returning Adam Copeland showed up and proceeded to chase off the heels to send the crowd home happy. Monty, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, another decent match. I don't mind four ways. I definitely like triple threats better, but I thought this match had the potential to be a little bit better than it ended up being. But it ended up kind of doing what I expected it. Expect them to work together early, but then things to come to a head eventually, and we kind of got what we expected. I think out of it, it had a few good moments. Great. The spots that put Moxley through the table, but honestly, this just basically goes back to what I was saying about wishing the Continental Classic or whatever they're trying to accomplish with their version of a G1. I just wish it was more. It meant more. I just wish it was better executed or felt like more of a. If you're gonna do it again, if you're gonna do this, make it as big of a deal as the G1 is. And I know it's not for the world title like the G1 is, but to have a match like this come after a match like Okada and Ospreay, who were giving it their all as if this was the G1 final. It was just like, I felt like you kind of remember you said at the beginning, like sometimes I'm watching, I'm like, wait, what year am I in? What am I watching? I felt this and I was like, is this the same show? Like, it just didn't feel like it was a part of what we had just seen. Although I did think it was okay and it was good, and I understood the storytelling and all of that, but I knew Moxley was gonna get the job done for the most part. I wanted to entertain somebody else winning it, but I just felt like, nah, I don't think Moxley's story's done. And unless you're telling me Omega was coming out during this one or something, I just didn't see that happening. And they already kind of blew it with the Omega. That's another thing. Like, you get Omega stare down. Like, that should have finished the show. To me, the segment before this match should have finished the show. But hey, this was okay. They got it done. I felt like the build ended up being better than the match to me. But it was what it was. Kudos to everybody. Moxley retained. Good stuff. I gave it like 4.25. It wasn't offensively bad or anything. I'm not.
Yeah,
I
but
hope my review don't sound it. But yeah, it just didn't feel like it should have been after what we just seen.
Not to defend myself, but this is one of the reasons why I thought it was overrated, because again, we knew what we were going to get. This was just kind of, especially after seeing the effort on the rest of the card, and just being, this is what you're kind of going to give us. And like I said, the result was never in doubt. One thing I did find quite funny, and a lot of people did pick up as well, Gina, is the fact that Copeland hates every member of the Shield and has choked him out with a bit of chair as well.
I didn't even notice that stat, but now that you told me, I can see it. And you got to think, he's probably got beef with them, and he's still taking it out on them, even to this day, however many years later.
But again, it was just the same stuff, wasn't it, we were expecting from this match?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I do agree with Monty in the sense of, I kind of feel like the Okada and Will match should have been the finale with the stare down at the end. But I also understand why they put this match at the end too. So again, it's not that I didn't feel like it didn't deserve to be the main event, because it still went hard. But it wasn't the worst performances that I've seen from any of them. I still thought it was a great match, but I also know that all of them have had better matches than that. I did enjoy when all three of them ganged up on Mox, because I was like, good, you deserved it. You've been a bastard for the past few weeks. Take the table, take it. So no, I did love that part, and the team up, but I do also love the fact that Hangman was like, yeah, it was literally just those 5 seconds. I'm teaming up with you guys. I'm still going to kick your asses too. So it was still entertaining. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed it. And I would not discourage anyone from watching the match themselves, but I personally would have liked the matches to have been the other way around.
Yeah, well, Jaxie, what were your thoughts on the main event? And like I said, Monty Gina made a couple of good points there.
Yeah, my thoughts very much are very similar to both Monty and my sister at this point. I too felt like the ending should have felt a bit more impactful, and I felt like the Kenny Okada stare down felt more impactful. And I'm not meaning that to as any offense to Adam Copeland's return at all. It just I feel like because of like the match itself for me wasn't the same as the 5-star match we had just previously seen. It just kind of felt a little bit like depleting to have this sort of end, World's End. That being said, I thought the match was okay. That there was a lot of entertaining factors involved here. I definitely felt like Mox is not ready to drop the belt yet. He's still got a lot more to say. And I literally am waiting for the moment that Tony Khan is going to tweet saying that Jay White is facing off against Utah. I need to see that little bitch get beaten up by Jay White. He was so close to winning. If I don't get that match soon, I really am just going to like get real pissed off because I need to see that. I need to see him just take his anger out on Utah, okay? Everyone was screaming, fuck you, Utah. And still, like, you know, even past World's End, they were screaming, fuck you, Utah. Everyone was pissed at Utah at that moment, and I won't forgive him. I took that shit personally, James.
Yeah, I can tell. So, score 7 out of 5. Monty, we'll start with you.
Yeah, 4 1/4.
4 1/4. Gina?
Same, 4 1/4.
And Jaxie?
Yep, same.
Yeah, and we all gave it 4 1/4. So I did as well. Predictions. We all went Mox. So final scores. Jaxie on 8. Monty Gina on 9. I'm on 10. I did it, everybody. See, everybody wanted me to do it, and I did it. So it means the AEW final scores. Gina on 2. A 3-way tie. It's never been done before. Jaxie, James, and Monty on 4. So, Jaxie, you did get, unbelievably, a prediction league win this year. So, well done.
Yeah, but I could have gotten it without sharing that spot with you. I'm not even mad at sharing that spot with Monty, but you, I let the team down, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, if you hadn't gone for, you know, wrong predictions.
Oh, shut up, James.
Well, I'm
Shut
just
up,
saying,
James.
if you'd beat me there. Monty, again, another league win at this point. You don't really give a fuck, do you?
No, I mean you can tell everybody once again how impressive I was to have a W in every league. Just say that I won every league.
You did win every league, Monty.
There you go. Say it one more time. I didn't hear you, man.
No, you did.
Sorry, I
Sorry, the microphone's not working. Yes, you did.
That's really
win
fucking impressive, though.
Yeah,
That is
well, I
very
did it last
fucking
year. No one
impressive.
cared. All right, so let's not make it. No, to be fair, no.
Yeah,
No, we
cares.
didn't.
Nobody cares
We
about
didn't.
you
No,
either.
we didn't. We actually didn't.
Yeah, not impressive when you do it. We don't care about you.
No, so great. Yeah, and I got the league win as well, so you know, it doesn't matter. So match of the night, we all went Okada. Yeah, no, thanks. We all went Okada and Ospreay for match, so we just need rating and MVP. Jaxie, who's your MVP, and what's your rating out of 10?
Yeah, I'm gonna give my MVP to Will Ospreay. I think overall there are so many people that could actually get this MVP moment, but I'm giving it to Will Ospreay because of the level of the caliber of matches that he had, like in both matches, and he brought it both matches. His energy levels had to have stayed so high. He lost a lot of blood, and he performed so fucking well. So I have to give MVP to Will Ospreay on that sense. For this, I actually really enjoyed this pay per view. So I'm gonna give this like 8 3/4.
8 3/4. Gina, who's your MVP, and what's your score out of 10, please?
I'm going to be giving my MVP status to Okada. I just think he powered through both matches and came out on top. And I'm just really happy that they went with that. I think if they didn't go with that option, it might have made me question how they're going to package Okada going forward. I think this works for him, especially with Kenny's return. So, yeah, Okada's MVP. And, yeah, I'm going to say 8.5.
8.5. And Monty, please?
Yeah, 8.5. I'm just gonna be different and give my MVP to Chris Statlander. Awesome job.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna give it to Okada, but I'm gonna give the pay-per-view a 9 because I think it was only like 3 hours 40, and I know what everybody's saying. Well, you know, it's only 20 minutes off, but that 20 minutes did feel a bit better. especially if you cut out the 0 hour, which was not needed at all. And Tony's finally getting that balance right. The only thing missing here was kind of like this multi-tag team match that we normally get, like either a brawl or something like this. But I'm not complaining. So 9 for me. Good way to end the year. We then had Dynamite Fight of the Fallen. I'm so excited was the theme, which reminds me of Crunchies, if you're old enough in the UK to get that reference. We saw Adam Page beat Orange Cassidy. Benjamin Lashley beat The Acclaimed. Julia Hart returned to action, beating Jamie Hayter. We then saw a triple threat match to determine who would get the first spot in the Casino Gauntlet with Swerve Strickland, Jay White, and Roderick Strong. Ricochet showed up in the crowd and hit Swerve in the head with a pair of scissors, which of course is legal in AEW, attempted murder. White did get the win, but we saw Ricochet proceeding to keep attacking Strickland, causing quite a lot of blood. And Jaxie, I know we've mentioned Ricochet, but this is probably the best he's looked in an aggressive manner. Taking a pair of scissors to Swerve will do that, really.
I mean, this came out of nowhere for me. Like I kind of reacted as if to be like, what, where did this come from? Like I mean, and I know where this came from, but what I mean is like this sort of sudden change in Ricochet. And you can only think about sort of like the recent few losses he has taken as driven him to the edge to be like, I'm going to prove myself no matter what, and he snapped. Is great character progression, and as you said, is really keeping him quite relevant and in the right eyes with the right wrestlers. So I'm intrigued to see where his character goes from here. But seriously, fucking hell, he was like, do you know what? I want to do worse than what Carl Fletcher did to Will Ospreay at World's End. So I'm gonna do that, and that's what he did. Fucking hell. And also, does Swerve have no friends? No one want to come out and save him. He also took out Prince Nana. I took that shit personally too. Ricochet, hands off Prince Nana. Okay.
See, it might work for Ricochet. It might work. And then the main event was rated FTR defeating Death Riders. Gina, again, we've seen obviously Copeland return. We know he's got a showdown with Mox, and we've got Christian sitting in the crowd. And I'm thinking, are they going to do? I think they're going to do what they think they're thinking. Do you know what I mean by that? Like Christian there, Cope and Mox world title. They couldn't, could they?
I mean, part of me is thinking, are they trying to lean towards that route? But another part of me feels like they still want to do just Copeland versus Christian too. So I don't know, with all the big names that they're kind of like rubbing into each other at the moment. It's like, where are you going to go with this? Like, but they could do the triple threat, which again, I think it would be a great match.
Yeah, I just hope Cope doesn't win the title just for Christian to cash in 30 seconds later again, and then we start off.
Please, can we not do that?
Honestly, the thing is, I'm kind of scared that's going to happen as well because of how long Christian's had that contract from fucking Luchasaurus. Unless Luchasaurus actually comes back and says, "That's mine," and just walks off.
So that is AEW then, for the year. 2024 was quite a different year, I think. I mean, Monty, do you want to try and sum up AEW in 2024? It's not as easy as I thought it was going to be, but we've had some ups and downs, but we're not in a bad position, are we, right now?
No. I don't know why you chose me of all people.
Yeah, I know. You're the one that likes it the least. But, I know.
Yeah, it's like, come on, bro. Like, most of the stuff I watch, I barely could care. But as far as wrestling goes, it's still probably. I mean, I won't argue with anybody who tells me it's the best wrestling on a week-to-week basis for like a match-to-match type of deal. But as far as like investment in the story, in the storyline, we've made a lot of progress in the women's division. I think my biggest criticism last year was the lack of focus there, and I can't talk about the stuff with Tony Storm and like we just mentioned the angles and things they've done. Everything hasn't been great for Mercedes, but like overall, I think her run has only gotten better. And I think in general, a lot of the storytelling for a lot of the ladies in a lot of ways have only gotten better. So I give them props for that. The tag division is still on a situation where it's like, I'm happy for Private Party, happy for them, but it's like, besides being happy for that team, where do we go as a team or as tag teams go? Like, are we putting our future on the Outrunners? Is that what we're doing? Are we just putting our future on them as far as the AEW tag team division goes? But other than that, I think we've done a great job. I love the elite. A lot of stories start. I think the only thing that AEW, the main thing they need to work on is continuing the momentum of a storyline from the way it started. And that's the biggest thing I will say about them. They tend to end up with these storylines that start off very interesting, very creative, but then after a few weeks or after a month or two, the storyline somehow is still going on and is less interesting or it's way more predictable now or whatever. So I think they just need to continue to improve that part of it. And also, like I said, invest in the future. Allow people, TV time who we feel who have not been getting enough of it. Allow those people to get more television time and shift the focus away from some of these people that we know don't need much more of the shine. You know what I'm saying? Christian is probably the best of that. I think Christian is probably one of the only outliers where I'm like, okay, you can give me a little bit more Christian. He's still a really good one. And I know Cope just came back from injury, so we'll see how they decide to go when it comes with that. But other than that, I think AEW is on the right track. They can only go up from where they've been. I felt like they started off really, really high. They went down, and then now I feel like they're on their way back to building some really quality stuff. But the wrestling is always great. I think everything else, it's time for everything else to catch up.
Yeah, right down. Well rounded up. So we will then do the Prediction League final scores from 2024. So all the leagues are now officially finished. Bonus League, Monty was 24. I'm on 18. Gina 16. Jaxie 11. W Final Monty 6. James and Gina 5. Jaxie 3. In AEW, Jaxie, James, Monty 4. Gina 2. So yes, Monty, you did win all 3 leagues. Point-wise, it means Monty gets 6 points, or 2 each for winning each league, if you know what I mean. So 6 points in total. Jackson and I get 2 points each for a league win. So at the moment, this is the scores all tallied up before we start the year-end predictions, which, of course, anybody's wondering what we're doing. At the start of last year, we did what we thought who the champions would be of the major companies in wrestling. So we're basically going to look at that. I think we've got bonus ones and stuff like this as well, so it'll be interesting. So at the moment, the scores are Jaxie is on 20 points. 20 points for the year, Jax. What do you think?
Well, it's not my best. So let's see how these predictions help towards my total.
Well, I'll tell you what's more impressive. Gina, you got 23 points even without winning a league. You see? So if you'd won a league, it might have been different.
Yeah, it kind of means nothing to me. Not in the sense of not winning, but I just have no idea where I am with points until you tally them up. So it's disappointing, but still good to hear.
You're ahead of Jaxie. You know what I mean? So, that's a bonus.
You still won the league over me, though.
Yeah, she does. So again, it's nice and equal. I am on 29 points. Yeah, can't hear anybody celebrating. And Monty is on 40 points. 40. So 11 points ahead, but we have about 50 on the line. Monty, how confident are you with an 11-point lead at the moment?
Hey, believe it or not, I'm still not that confident. You're a little too close. You're a little too close.
I'm a bit closer than you thought,
I need you to be as horrible as I think I am at these year-end predictions. Yeah. So hopefully you suck at predicting like I hope, because I think I still need a little help. But 40 is a great start. So I can't complain, because at worst I should be second. So at worst, but let's just hope. I'm hoping I still can hold on to this though. But I like that start though. 40 points. Wow.
40 points. Well, let's not forget last year, Jaxie.
I think I ended with like 40 something last year though. That's crazy.
So we're going to start. So basically, you should all have your 2024 year-end predictions in front of you. And again, don't get embarrassed, guys. You know, this is a year ago. WWE and, you know, other companies were in different places. So who knows, all right? So we can just have a laugh if you want. So we'll do WWE first. So who do you think will be champion at the end of the year? What we're going to do, we're going to do 2 points for a bang-on answer. And then we'll give you a point if, say, for example, you went, I don't know, Bron was US champion, but he's actually Intercontinental, you get a point. Seems fair to everybody, yeah?
Sure.
Yeah, fair.
Cool. So we'll start off with WWE champion. And my WWE champion that I said would be at the end of 2024 is Cody Rhodes. So I do get that correct. Jaxie?
So yeah, I got it the other way around. I do have Cody, but not for the Universal. I had is the WWE one you're doing it.
Yeah, because the problem
Right,
is, last year it was WWE and the Universal that I thought it was.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it's kind of Universal World title, was it? But again, depends what it is. I'll probably give you 2 points.
Right, so I've got WWE champion Gunther, but then Universal champion Cody. So I don't know if I get a point there.
Well, no, because they're both. I don't know. I'll give you a point for both if you want. You get 2 points there.
Yeah, give it to me. I'm in the unfunny.
That'd be fair. Monty?
I'm in the same boat as Jackson. I put Gunther for WWE Championship, and the only reason why I went Cody Universal is because, again, that's Roman's belt, but it's weird. That's why we updated it. I hope this year. I think we did, but I'm not sure. But yeah, so I went Cody Universal and Gunther WWE. So yeah, so 1 point each, I guess.
I'll give you 2 points there. Gina?
I had Bobby Lashley for WWE champ and Cody for Universal.
Okay, so I'll give you 1 point there. So we all get a point after. My Universal champion was Roman Reigns, so that ain't. Do you know what I mean? That was wrong, but at least I said the WWE champion was right. So not bad start, everybody. Intercontinental, I went for Ilya Dragunov, so obviously not. Jax?
I went Carmelo Hayes.
Ooh, that's a nice one. Monty?
Yeah, now this is why I kind of wish you listened to Jackson earlier talking about, or whoever suggested earlier that could it be champion? They had to win it that year and not finish it. But yeah, I picked Jey Uso.
Oh, that's not a bad one, though. Yeah. And Gina?
Sorry, who was this again? The Intercontinental. I've got Karrion Kross.
Karrion Kross. And who's your US? Whilst you're there, who do you pick?
My US champ was Santos Escobar.
Santos Escobar. Monty, who's your US champ?
Yeah, I went Melo, and he was close, but yeah, no word, not a champ. But yeah, I went Melo for US.
Jaxie?
I surprisingly also went Santos Escobar.
My US champ was Bron. So I guess that's 1 point because he's the Intercontinental champion at the moment. He is, isn't he? Let me try to remember. Yeah, no, he is. Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Women's tag team champions. I mean, Jackson, you'll be glad I said this. I went Baszler and Stark, so you must be in there somewhere.
Proud of you. Sadly, I do I get half a point for this because I got Bianca and Jade.
If we start
Bianca
going
and
half points,
someone,
it's all
I
going to
would
get
say that
shit.
you should get half a point for that, just because of the way that the tag titles ended the year on.
But I do have to add this up towards the end. So, I mean, I'll give you half, but if it gets forgotten about...
I'll remind you. Don't worry.
Monty?
I went Bianca and Naomi.
Shut the front door, Monty!
I did it. That's what I put.
Oh
Bianca,
my gosh.
Naomi.
All
So
Fucking
thanks,
hell.
whoever took out Jay.
Shit. Gina?
Yeah, I went Liv and Raquel.
Yeah. Fuck 'em. Oh, this is fucking awful. Raw Tag. Well, they will be Raw Tag champions in 2025, but not the end of 24. I went New Day. Jaxie?
Sorry, what was this for?
Raw Tag Team champions.
I put Imperium. Sorry, I have to laugh because Giovanni Vinci is no longer running them. So they're just, yeah, that was pointless.
It's going to get worse for everybody, I suppose. Monty?
It is.
This pick is so good to me that I think I put it out again this year. But yeah, it didn't work out for me. I don't think. I'm with Creed Bros.
Oh, maybe next year, like I said.
Maybe next year.
Yeah. Gina, Raw Tag Team champions.
Street Profits.
And what about your SmackDown Tag Team champions?
My SmackDown was, oh, for goodness sake, what was I thinking? Angel and Humberto.
It happens to the best of us. Monty?
That's embarrassing. Why the hell did I think that, though?
You guys haven't seen the latest SmackDown, but yeah, I'm happy that they're finally remembering that these things exist. But yeah, they're not the champ though. Pretty deadly.
Yes, boy. Jaxie?
I went the Street Profits.
I also went Street Profits. How fucking wrong we were. Raw Women's Champion. Oh, fuck me. Rhea Ripley. Jaxie?
Becky.
Monty?
If you're laughing at this, laugh at this. I put Raquel.
Gina?
Becky.
That's not bad. All right, so Gina, start us off with SmackDown Women's Champion.
I went with Naomi.
Monty?
Yeah, I obviously was hoping for bigger things for Bayley.
And Jaxie?
I too went Naomi, and it makes sense why in a little bit when we continue on the prediction.
Yeah, I went Bianca Belair, so that didn't work out. My men's Rumble. My issue with my Rumble picks, right? The fact that we were only a month away when we did these predictions, right? And only like 3 months away from WrestleMania. So I don't know how I've managed to do this, but obviously I don't know. So the men's Rumble winner, I went for CM Punk, which wasn't obviously Cody won it. Jaxie?
I actually too went CM Punk.
So we must have been feeling the same thing. Monty?
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes.
Oh, mother.
Oh, shut up, Monty. We're done. Can we just end here? I'm starting to get really annoyed with Monty.
Don't need the points.
No, it's
Just
sickening.
for
He's going to get 50. Gina?
I got CM Punk.
A Women's Rumble winner. Gina?
Becky Lynch.
I went Becky Lynch as well. I mean, Monty? You probably got it right. Don't.
Bayley.
Oh, you motherfucker.
Wow.
Monty,
This is
the pod already. Just go home.
James, I put Becky too. Just put all three of us down for Becky
poor
fail.
us. Hey,
Oh
us
my
fucking
gosh.
idiots in Monty's greatness.
Right?
He's going, you
Watch-
think these
watch-
two guys?
Watch Becky return in a couple of weeks' time and win it this year.
Yeah, and Punk wins as well. And we're both like, look, fucking hell.
And we're all like, fuck off.
Yeah. Oh, well, at least it improved. Men's Money in the Bank. I've said L.A. Knight. Jaxie?
Andrade.
Gina, I'll ask you first because Monty's got it right, I guess. Gina?
Bobby Lashley.
And Monty?
Yeah, didn't know they was gonna do a whole tournament for a new belt, but I gave this to Gunther. That was his way to get the belt.
That makes sense. Women's Money in the Bank winner, I went Bianca Belair. You see, because that's why she's world champion at the end of the year. Clever. Jaxie?
I went Naomi. See, and that would have made sense if she was the women's SmackDown champion at the end of the year. But no, that didn't fucking happen.
They didn't book it like we thought.
No.
I'm going to go with the same. I went with Naomi because I had her as my champ at the end of the year.
Yeah, we all did it.
Can you all stop copying me?
I didn't even know your responses.
I went Raquel. That's how she was the champ.
Oh god. Right, I'm really worried about 3 Mania matches. I don't know what I was fucking smoking. I think I might have got one right. But my 3 Mania matches were Rock versus Roman, Punk versus Rollins, and Lynch versus Ripley. Now, I'm pretty sure Lynch versus Ripley happened, didn't it?
Yes.
Right, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I guess I get 2 points there for one match. Jaxie, 3 WrestleMania matches.
Okay. Gunther versus Brock.
Yeah.
Jimmy versus Jay. Roman
Yeah.
versus The Rock.
Right, so you got 2 points there as well. It's not bad. Not bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gina, I'll come to you.
I also had Jimmy versus Jay. I had Rhea versus Becky and Roman versus The Rock.
Oh, so nice 4 points there. Monty?
I had Legado versus LWO because I didn't know what to call Santos' gang at the time.
Right.
Jey Uso and Jimmy, and Punk himself.
So 2 points there.
No, Ray and Dragon Leaf tagged right against Santos. But I don't remember who Santos' partner was. That's fair though.
Legado. Have you got enough
points?
points?
It was dumb.
Have you got enough points?
I just know something happened. I don't remember everything.
Sorry, I didn't know I had that in me. I didn't know. Oh, I apologise. So 2 points there. So Gina wins that round. That's good. WrestleMania main event then, because obviously I thought Punk and Rollins would main event night 1, and Rock and Roman would main event night 2. So I was wrong. Jaxie?
Sorry, was this a WrestleMania main event?
Yeah, night 1 and night 2.
I don't know. I've only got one main event for WrestleMania written down.
What you put?
The Rock and Roman. I didn't put 2 main events, sadly.
Oh, I did because there's 2 nights. But again, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? You might want to be specific when you write these down next time. WrestleManias, plural, WrestleManias, main events. You know, plural. But just a note.
Yeah. Well, I'll put a cross down for you. Gina, did you put a main event or main events?
No, I only did one match, and it was Rock and Roman.
Monty?
Roman and Cody. Only match I wrote down.
Oh, fuck it. I'll give you another 2 points then. Right. So, SummerSlam main event. I went Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton. Fuck those. Maybe. Was that somewhere? Not sure. Jaxie?
I put Rhea versus Jade.
That didn't happen, did it?
Obviously not, James.
No, I'm just trying to. I'm not being like that. I've got a lot in front of me. You don't know. Gina, what about you?
I did Cody Roman.
For some, and Monty, what was your SummerSlam main event?
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Cody Roman.
SummerSlam Survivor Series. I put War Games, Judgment Day versus Bloodline, so I didn't get that right. Jaxie?
Cody versus Roman.
Fucking Gina?
Which one's this? Survivor Series.
Main event,
Yeah. I put CM Punk versus Seth.
And Monty?
Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put War Games, but I think I didn't put specifically anything, so
I'll give you 1 point.
I don't know what you want to say. Yeah, there you go.
I'll give
Just
you
do
1.
it that
There
way.
you go. Because I put War Games, but just wrong people. WWE Surprise Return. What wrestler did we think would return in 2024? Jaxie?
Naomi.
Hey, that's cool. Gina?
I went with Andrade and Liv Morgan because I didn't know I did one of each for a guy and a girl. So
I'll give you 2 points anyway. Monty?
thanks. I put Monty, so I'll take it.
I guess he was gone at the time, but I put Sami Zayn. I don't know why I put that in my mind, but that's what I put. So whatever.
I'll give you 1 for that, I suppose. I put Big E. Then surprise. He nearly did. And then surprise wrestler leaving. I put Liv Morgan. Jaxie?
I put Drew.
Fucking arsehole. Gina?
I went with Sheamus.
Sheamus. And Monty?
Hey man, his contract was up. With Drew too.
Fucking hell.
That contract was up, man.
All right, so after WWE, we'll move on to NXT quickly. NXT champion. I will, thank fuck I got this. I went Trick, so I got 2 points there. Jaxie?
I too went Trick.
Oh shit, everybody's gonna go fucking Trick. Gina?
Yeah, boy, I went Trick.
Oh, fuck me. Monty. The only point.
Trick Willie. Trick Willie. Yeah, give me my 2 points, bro. Be quiet.
Tag team. I put OTM. That's my tag team champions. Hey, it could be Jaxie.
I put Noam Dar and Oro Mensah.
Yeah, no, close enough.
Okay.
Good enough. Gina.
I went with Gallus.
And Monty.
James.
What?
Who you think I put?
Well, you've been lying. You better not be lying to me for a fucking year. Because
I'm not
you were
lying
saying,
to you. I put Frazier and Axiom.
Oh, you fucking did. You said you put fucking
Nathan Frazier and Axiom. That's what I put. This is before they used to call Fraxium. So
Why didn't you
come on
put
now.
Mallet Blade?
Go for it.
Didn't you put Blade and Noffy?
That was the year before.
Oh, you fucking.
And I did it this year, by the way. I put them down this year. They might not even be on the roster.
Oh shit. Women's NXT. I'm losing hope here. NXT Women's Champion. I've gone Cora Jade. At least she was back from injury. Jackson.
Nice.
For women's champion,
Yep.
I put Lash Legend.
Put Lash. Gina.
Claire Davenport.
Monty. I swear to God.
No, relax. I was way too optimistic about this, I guess. I'm trying to figure out what I was thinking back, but I put Lola Vice.
No, that's well. No, not too
It's
bad.
fair, but yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, women's champion. Looking back, I'm like, wow, I expected big things.
North American champion. I guess I just thought Wesley would still be champion. I suppose. Not
I did the
100%
same
sure.
thing.
Did you do the same?
Yeah,
So
I put Wesley too.
All right. Jaxie.
I went Lexus King.
That's not a bad one. And Gina.
Dijak.
Dijak. And then finally Heritage Cup. I put if a thing Dar. So I was wrong about that. Jaxie.
For the Heritage Cup, I put like that.
Okay. Gina.
Boa.
Boa.
Yeah.
That's fine. And Monty.
I hate William Regal because I put Charlie Dempsey.
Oh yes, get in there.
You know I had it though. I just had it a couple weeks ago, and he screwed his own son. Ugh.
Oh, I'm so happy about that. Oh, good. So, guys, Jaxie, I'll start with you. How do you think we've done?
Not good. Not good at all.
Gina, buy me some time to work this out. How do you think you've done?
I think I'm failing miserably, especially because I haven't won a league. So, yeah, I'm definitely not doing great. I also chose a lot of people who have changed rosters or changed companies now. So, I'm not doing next year's.
Well, I don't think there's a point of doing this year's. Because if my math is right, at the moment, Jaxie, you are still in last place, but now on 29.5 points. That's not bad, is it?
I couldn't even make it to 30. No, wait, we haven't even done AEW
We've done it.
yet.
We've done it. That's what I'm saying. Don't worry. This is what I'm trying to do, Jaxie. Because the next thing is your kind of,
my
You're trying to
domain.
give her hope.
your jam.
You know there isn't, James.
Yeah, there's no hope, James.
There might be hope, God damn it. So 29
The
and a half,
underdog.
Jaxie. Gina's on 31. I'm on 36. It's quite worrying that Gina's caught me up and I've not caught Monty up because I'm on 36. Monty is on 58. Which is just...
They not
There
like
is
me.
an absolute...
They not like me.
There is
They not like me.
absolutely
They
no
not
point
like
us
me.
even
They not
bothering
like me.
carrying on. Mans is
They
one.
not like
Mans
me.
is one. Just
They
give
not
him
like
the...
me. They not like me.
Give the man
They
his
not like me.
belt. Let's go.
I don't know if there's enough points left to win for one of us. I'm sure there is. Because we've got AEW, Ring of Honor, Impact, New Japan. Oh, yeah, we've still got enough.
Ring
But
of
Jackson,
Honor. New Japan. Right, we're all fucked compared to Monty on New Japan. I'm telling you straight.
we're
This
going
is
to
a
be
joke.
fine. All right, so let's start AEW then. So at the moment, we know where the points are. Like I said, so we'll start AEW. So AEW World Champion, I went for Will Ospreay. Jaxie, who do you go for?
Swerve.
Swerve, well, not bad. Gina?
Ricky Starks.
If Ricky Starks is your answer to everything.
Did you actually put Ricky Starks for this? For God's
Yes,
sake,
I did.
was he actually even part of the company this time last year? Like,
Hey, no, but I made my predictions with my dick thinking and not my brain,
oh,
okay?
gosh, seriously.
Right. And Monty?
I didn't say John Moxley, guys. I went Swerve.
Oh, thank fuck. Right. we need
Oh,
to say.
thank God.
Yeah. AEW Women's, I've gone for Mercedes Moné. So I will get a point. Obviously, she's not women's, but counts for me. Jaxie?
Jamie Hater.
Jamie Hater. Gina.
I thought she'd make a
Jamie
comeback.
Hater.
Jamie Hater.
Really thought she was going to make a really good comeback.
We don't know. She still might. Monty.
Yeah, I went Jamie Hater.
Jamie Hater. TNT champion. I went Darby Allin, but they don't really give a fuck about the title anymore. Jaxie.
I went Adam Cole.
Hey Bear. Gina.
Wait, TNT?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I went Swerve.
And Monty.
TNT. I went. I went Hook.
That's not bad. Continental champ. What the fuck was I thinking? I've gone Danielson. Doesn't even wrestle anymore. Jaxie.
I went Hook.
Hook. Gina.
Adam Cole.
Cole. Monty.
Jack Fair.
Jack Perry. Oh, we're doing well with AEW, guys. TBS title. I went Willow. I was wrong there. Jax.
I went Mariah May. Can I get a
You do
point
get a
because
point for that. Yes.
Yes.
Gina.
Soraya.
And Monty.
Thunder Rosa.
Tag titles. I went the Bucks. Jaxie.
Yeah, I went the Bucks too.
Gina.
Top Flight.
Monty.
Bucks.
Right, trios. I went for I went for the Dark Order. Oh my God, Jaxie.
I went for Death Triangle. Can I get half? Can I get 1 point or half a point? Because technically, Pac is a champ. Is the trios champ?
Well, you should really get a third of a point. But then
Listen, I'll take anything right now. I'll take anything to add towards my final score. Okay.
So she got like 30-something.3.
Hey, Monty.
I'm
gonna milk whatever point I can. I'm gonna milk every point I can fucking get.
Fucking hell. Gina.
House of Black.
Monty.
I obviously did not think Kyle Fletcher was going to turn heel. I went Osprey and Ozzy Open. So
the All Atlantic, which I don't even know what it is anymore. Is that the international champion now?
That's the international, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I put Wheeler Utah. I mean, do I get a third because he is? No, I'm not worried. Jaxie.
No, because that's a trios one. I mean, at least with a type of Pat, it makes sense. All right. For international, I put Takeshita. So, do I get a point because he's a champion, but just not the international? He's the
international champion, isn't he?
He's the continental. Oh wait, no, he is the international.
yeah, you're the fan.
No, sorry, Monty. They do something, but I do get a point. I got it right. Yes. Do I get 2 points for that?
Well, if the All Atlantic is now the international and he is the international champion, yeah, you get 2 points.
Oh yes, I'll milk that too.
I don't care enough to look into it at the moment. Gina, who did you go for?
Bruce.
That's fine. Monty.
Osprey. So let's move on.
All right. This is another fucking. I'm gonna have to literally Google this.
Yeah, what were the main events?
So yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we're gonna go to AEW Revolution. We're going to talk about the main event of that, and I said it was Joe versus Swerve versus Page, and in fact it was Sting and Darby versus the Young Bucks. So, Jaxie, what do you go for?
Do I get the points for this? Because all I put was Sting's tag match.
I'll give you a
Come
point.
on.
Sure.
I'll give you a point.
Sure.
No, I get two. I get 2 points for that, James.
That's
Don't.
just generic.
Don't.
It's like the war games with Monty, isn't it? It's like you didn't.
No,
if you would have gone
sorry.
versus Bucks, I would have gone, yeah, fair. But
Okay, fine, whatever.
you're not going to win, Jax. I don't want to be this guy.
I know, but that's why I'm
even if I
trying to
gave you
get
2
as many
here,
points
you are
as I
not
can.
winning.
I know, so give it to me and leave
Monty
me
has
alone.
won. I can't believe we get so annoyed
I've won.
being like
Fuck's
30
sake.
points behind. Gina, what do you go for?
Mox versus Joe.
Says Joe. Monty?
I went the same match you went, James, so you can just count me out.
Oh, good.
I went triple threat.
I mean, I say all good, as in like, oh, good. We can move on.
Yeah, sure.
Rather than anything else. Double or nothing. Then. Well, this is real trip down fucking memory lane, isn't it? I put for double or nothing Swerve versus Page death match, and it was. I'm never going to get that, are we? The Elite versus Team AEW. Jaxie?
I put Samoa Joe versus Hangman Page.
Gina?
Swerve versus Joe.
Monty?
Adam Cole versus Joe. So
Okay, so nothing there. Next, fuck me, All In. The All In main event, I put Will Ospreay versus Swerve. Jaxie?
I kind of put 2, but like my first one was Adam Cole versus MJF, and then I did Stash Swerve versus Samoa Joe. But Adam Cole versus MJF was my first
Okay.
answer.
Gina?
Will Ospreay versus Jay White.
And Monty?
Cole MJF.
Okay. And then we've got 3 all-in matches. My all-in matches were MJF versus Adam Cole, Ospreay versus Swerve, and Monet versus Tony Storm. You got it right. I got no fucking points. Jaxie?
What was the main event of All In?
All in was Danielson versus Swerve.
Yeah. I got a fatal 4-way: Jamie Hayter versus Tony Storm versus Saraya versus Britt Baker. I got Adam Cole versus MJF, and I've got Will Ospreay versus Jay White.
Okay, so no points there. Gina?
I have Will Ospreay, Jay White, Jamie Hayter versus Britt, the Young Bucks versus Top Flight.
Okay, and Monty?
I put Young Bucks versus Cope and Christian, so that didn't happen. Danielson and Ospreay, which happened, but I know it didn't happen there, obviously. And Jamie Hayter, Britt, and Tony Storm. I guess I put a triple threat.
So none of us got any points there. At least we didn't waste our time. AEW Full Gear main event. I put Swerve versus MJF, and it was Moxley versus Orange Cassidy. Jaxie?
Ospreay versus Samoa Joe.
Gina?
Ricky Starks versus Swerve.
Monty?
I did Hangman Swerve.
So no points there. And then we get AEW Surprise Return. I put MJF doesn't count, so I'll say Kyle O'Reilly. So I guess I get points there. Jaxie?
I put 2. I put Pac and Jack Perry.
I'll give you 2 points. Fuck it. Gina?
Thank you.
Yeah, but FYI, I have not got 1 point yet for AEW. I think these are going to be my only ones. So I have Jamie Hayter for a surprise return.
Perfect. You are first 2 points. Monty?
I also put Jamie Hayter. I know it was on a pre-show, but she did return.
2 points there. And then wrestler leaving. I mean, you're not going to count this, and I probably won't. I put Ricky Starks because I know he's not officially left yet, has he? Jaxie?
I'm not sure. I put Keith Lee. Has he
it's same as Ricky
officially?
Starks, isn't it? No,
Is he?
they're
Same-
going
same
aren't they?
idea.
But, yeah.
Except he's hurt. That's probably the only.
Okay, so he's just still injured. He's not actually left the company.
No.
Yeah, no, it's not clear. Yeah. That's it.
Okay.
Gina?
I don't even know if this is if he's left or not. Chuck Taylor.
I think he. Well, to be fair, I'm going to give you that.
He
She kind of
retired.
like had
Because he
Yeah.
did
where-
retire. Because
That's
ankle.
He retired.
Yeah, no, I'll give you that.
But I was
he
going to
did
say, does
leave.
he still work backstage or?
Well, he doesn't wrestle, so take your points.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
take them. Thank you.
yeah.
Take the points.
Monty?
Yeah, I also said Keith Lee, so that's why I was sure to look it up. Just let y'all know that he is hurt. He's not gone.
Okay, so working out there, and this might be too difficult to work out this time. Gina is on 35 now, as we can see from this. Monty, you got 2 there, so you're on 60. Fucking hell. Jaxie, fuck me. Why'd you have to be so difficult? 30, 31, 33, 35, 35 and a half and a third.
You're mad. You went above me. You went above me.
Okay. Well,
Third.
I'll take that. I'll take that. By a third, I'll take that.
She's ahead of you by a third now. That is hard.
No, take those hands back, James.
I can't change anything. And what's incredible is that I am on 39 points. So you're only 4 points away from me now. So honestly, you're catching up. I need to get something in a minute. Hopefully Ring of Honor will help. Oh, shit. My Ring of Honor champion, Bryan Danielson, ladies and gentlemen. He had such a great year. He went to Ring of Honor. We thought we'd do that there. Jaxie?
I said Mark Briscoe.
Well, he was champion this year, wasn't he? But, yeah. Gina?
Who is the current champ?
Jericho,
I
your
can't even
favourite.
remember.
I went with Claudio.
Claudio and Monty.
Which about for Ring of Honor?
Yeah, world champ, mate.
I went Dalton Castle, so no.
Right, so hang on. Ring of Honor. I mean, I'm up to date with the product. Don't get me wrong, but just
Are you?
current champions. List of current champions of Ring of Honor. Yeah. Well, yeah. Chris Jericho, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris
So we
Jericho.
know that. So none of us got the points. Ring of Honor Women's Champion. Mine is Ruby Soho. Hey, what did I know? Jackson?
She's at home breastfeeding at the moment, James. Sorry for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't do any better. I went with Serena Deeb.
Serena Deeb, that's good. Gina?
I had Lady Frost.
Lady Frost. Monty?
Yeah. Screw Athena for wanting to have it for 700 days because I put Billy, the one who was just supposed to win it. But so yeah, Athena had to have it a year. So we'll see. But yeah, Billy seems like she would never beat Athena for that. So yeah.
All right, world television champion. I put Takeshita. Oh, I downgraded him a lot, didn't I? Jaxie?
Well, I upgraded this guy a lot. I put Lee Moriarty.
Oh, that's not bad though. He is a Ring of Honor champion, but he's not.
Is he actually?
Yeah, he's a pure champ to
okay.
the TV.
The
So
pure
that might be a
champion,
point.
yeah.
Oh, that's it. So that's why I was laughing though, because I don't know why I put him as TV, because I would have actually said I would have seen him more as a pure champion. So I'm a bit annoyed that he didn't put that. But do I get a point?
Yes, you get a point. You get your point.
I mean, it's just kind of like the same as the other brand. So I hope so. Thank you.
Yeah. Gina?
Daniel Garcia.
Garcia. Monty?
Well, TV or pure?
TV.
Okay, I put Shane Taylor for TV.
TV. And then we've got the women's TV title as well, which I didn't see. I went Anna J. Is there a TV title a thing? Oh yes, it is. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't put women's TV title
I
champ.
didn't.
Sorry,
I
so
didn't.
just give
I
me a bit.
didn't know. I didn't know there was a women's TV title. So yeah, I didn't put one.
Well, it says it there. Why didn't you fill it out?
Listen, I'm going
Doesn't-
from the email you forwarded me,
It
and
doesn't
it's
say
not
it
there.
on my email. You could have
It doesn't say
responded
it
and
on my email.
left one out, but you didn't.
Yeah, you
So
didn't. You actually.
screw you, James.
Yeah.
That's your bad.
There's no need for that. All right, so pure champion then, Jackson.
I put Roosh.
Gina.
Lee Moriarty.
Oh, well done. Well done. I mean, it doesn't help me out because you're going to catch, but at least you beat Jaxie. She's a bitch. Monty.
Lee Moriarty.
Oh, motherfucker. No.
Monty,
No.
you couldn't let me have the
No.
shine. I just
told you
wanted
give
the
me
shine on that
Give me that
one.
G-site. I told you you're giving it to me, and I thank you, and you can go about your day.
Oh. Right, anyway. Ring of Honor Tag Champs, I went Top Flight. Jaxie. Lost the will.
I went Private Party.
Gina.
The boys.
And Monty.
I definitely didn't go Sammy Guevara and Dustin.
No.
So yeah, both of these for trios and tag, I went for the Undisputed Kingdom. So just get me out of here already.
Yeah. No, I went for Dalton and his boys for trios. Jaxie.
I went for Dalton and the boys.
And Gina.
I did Undisputed Kingdom.
Kingdom. All right. So before we get to TNA, let me just work out the latest scores. Shouldn't be too bad. Gina now is on 37. So Gina 37. We have got Jaxie. I don't know if you just got a point there as well, did you? So you're on 36 and a third. 36. I was on 39. Did I get a point at all? No, I'm still on 39. And Monty, in that one, you got another 2 points. So you're now on 62. But TNA is my bread and butter. I have watched TNA for as many years now. All right? So you just wait. The first one I've gone for Impact is the Impact World Champion. There's a man who is leaving TNA on the end of his contract coming up soon, and it's Josh Alexander. So I didn't get that.
Thanks. Yeah, same here.
Yeah. Jaxie?
Sorry, which title is this for?
TNA World. You know the ones that matter.
Impact, sis.
Yeah, Impact TNA.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was really confused because all I've got written down is Impact World. So, I've got Trey Miguel.
Yeah, that is a wrestler. Gina?
Black Taurus.
Taurus. No. Women's champion, I've gone Giselle Shaw, who left TNA during the year. Jaxie?
Danny Luna.
That's a nice shout. Gina, sorry.
I also went Danny Luna.
Monty.
I also went Giselle Shaw.
Yeah, I know. X Division. I think I might have jinxed these people, considering Alexander and Giselle Shaw won't be with Impact much longer. I went Chris Bay as X Division champion, and it's horrific what happened to him. Jaxie.
I went with Black Taurus.
Gina,
Brian Myers.
Monty.
Kevin Knight.
Oh, that's not bad. Tag team. I went for a team that's not in Impact. Grizzled Young Vets. Oh, God, did well there. Jaxie.
I went Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan.
Oh, still not bad. Gina.
Same Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan.
Monty.
GYV.
Yeah, and they're not there anymore. Bound for Glory main event. I put Alexander versus Macklin, which it wasn't. Jaxie.
I put Trey Miguel versus Moose.
Gina.
I had Black Taurus versus Aiden Prince.
And Monty.
Moose and Alexander.
Yeah, and the main event was, I think, Moose versus Nemeth, if I can remember rightly. Probably can't, though. So after that, then, we are all on the same scores. So, yeah, Jaxie, 36 and a third. Gina, 37. I'm on 39. Monty was 62. I'm not going to be too despondent, but we are running out of points here. So we'll do New Japan to begin. IWGP World, I put Naito. So nothing. Jaxie?
I put Naito as well.
Mm-hmm. Gina?
David Finlay.
Monty?
Yeah, I put Naito.
Yeah, it's a shame. Up next, US champion. I've actually put Finlay. And the US is a global title, so that's right, Monty, isn't it?
Yeah, that is the global belt. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Christy. Jaxie?
Which one's this one?
The US title in New
I
Japan.
put Evil. But again, is that sorry, can I just get confirmation? Because I don't think we've watched any of the New Japan stuff going on at the moment. But is that the belt that Evil is challenging for?
No.
Okay.
Plus,
Well,
it wouldn't be the end of the year, would it, Jaxie, if it happened now?
Oh yeah. Yeah, but I just want to know if I was along the right lines.
I don't want to be that.
That's
Yeah,
all.
Finley is the answer we're looking for. Finley is the answer we're looking for.
Right.
If it's not Finley, you're wrong.
Gina?
Yeah, I went to
You went for who, sorry?
Kushida.
Oh, Kushida. Sorry, I didn't hear. Monty?
I went Shingo.
We've got the strong. Oh yeah, we still got the New Japan strong title, haven't we? I put Danielson because I just thought, yeah, I mean he's Ring of Honor champ. I thought all the titles were together. That's why Danielson's Ring of Honor, Continental, and Strong.
Yeah,
that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
I get it.
Jaxie?
I put Mustafa Ali.
Gina?
Takahashi.
And Monty?
I put Jack Perry. I obviously thought he would still be in Japan.
Well, I'm impressed with myself. I'm impressed with strong women's. I put Mercedes Moné. Jaxie?
Yeah.
I had Ruaka.
Gina?
Konami.
Good shout.
It's impressive, isn't it? I was impressed with the TNA stuff as well. Monty, what about you?
I put Azumi. She's not the champion. She lost to Mercedes.
So we've got the never open weight. I put Zack Sabre Jr. I mean, he is a champion, so can I argue get the point there, maybe? I don't know. Jaxie?
I put Chase Owens.
Gina?
Kenta.
Monty?
I put Yoda Suji.
Who the fuck is the never openweight champion? Like, I'm not 100% sure. But...
Damn, I don't want to.
Yeah, it's not anybody. It's not anybody we've mentioned, so we'll move on.
Yeah, it's not about to mention because I was about to spawn something.
Yeah. I know where you're going now. Tag division, tag champions. I went Bishamon, so no, Jaxie,
I too went Bishamon.
Gina,
United Empire.
Monty.
Let's see. I put TMDK and it was Hanare and nobody right now, but not TMDK. Yeah, not
TMDK. Strong. Oh no, hang on a minute. We've done that. So we've done tag team. So junior tag champions have gone Catch 2-2, which they weren't, were they? So
they weren't.
No.
We're looking for Kevin and
Kushida.
Kushida, yeah.
Jaxie?
I went with TMDK as in Zack Sabre Jr.'s group.
Mm-hmm. Gina?
Tom Lawler and Royce Isaacs, I think.
Yeah, well, they were associated. Monty?
I went with Hiromu and Bushi, so no.
Trios, I put Bullet Club. I can't even think who the Oh, no, I know who they are, yeah. It's not Bullet Club. Jaxie?
I went House of Torture.
Gina?
I put Zach and TMDK.
It's actually Boating Oleg, isn't it? With Tanahashi Monty in it at the moment. Are they still champions?
Yes.
Yeah. Who do you go for?
That's so random.
I went House of Torture.
House of Torture. All right, so then we've got Junior Heavy. I put Takahashi, which it wasn't. Jaxie?
I put Yuta Tsuji.
Gina?
I put Yo.
Not a bad shout. Monty?
Okay, we're talking about the junior heavy. Mine got injured. I went Wato.
No, yeah, Wato. Women's champion. Well, I put Monet down. Maybe I thought she'd be a double champ, but I have put her down before, so might just give a point. That's a little bit bad. Jaxie?
I put Konami.
Gina?
I put Starlight Kid.
Monty?
Yuri, so I was obviously expecting Mayu to lose that damn belt, and she just won't. She just won't lose.
We have got then the G1 Climax winner. I went Tanahashi. Obviously, it was Zack Sabre Jr.
Wow.
That one. I thought Tanahashi was going to win that and then go face Naito at Wrestle Kingdom, not to give anything away. But Jaxie?
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. That's so funny. I went Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh, you motherfucker.
Yeah, I did.
Gina?
This is a G1 winner, right?
Yeah.
Jeff Cobb.
Monty?
Shota Umino.
So Jaxie actually got it right. That is fucking unbelievable. Winner of the Tag League, I put War Dogs, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't them. Even though I watched the event, I don't think they did. Jaxie?
I put Catch 22.
Gina?
I did Ren, Narita, and Evil.
Monty?
I put War Dogs also.
They definitely didn't win, though. And then the
No, they didn't.
Junior Tag League, I put Catch 2-2. Did they win that?
I don't think so. No.
Bollocks. Jaxie?
I went Bullet Club.
Gina?
The Junior Tag League, yeah.
Yep.
Hikuleo and El Fantasma.
Ooh, that's nice. Monty?
I put War Dog. I was going for like the little War Dogs, I guess is the proper way to put it. But they did not win.
No. And then finally from New Japan, Wrestle Kingdom main event. Yeah, I put Naito versus Tanahashi. All right, I'm sticking with it. Jackson? Fuck you.
Sorry, what one's this? What's
Main
this?
event of Wrestle Kingdom.
I put Naito versus Zack Sabre Jr.
You got robbed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gina?
David Finlay versus Jeff Cobb.
And Monty?
Wow. All Gaijin main event. They would have rioted. Shota Umino and Tetsuya Naito. I thought Naito was going to pass the torch. Do I get a point for Shota? No. I don't really,
You get nothing.
Okay.
I'll do.
You don't
want
to give me my half a point. What about my fraction?
Good.
Yeah, but I'm not getting one for
Good
Zack Sabre
day,
Jr.
sir. You get nothing, sir. Nothing.
Point
sir.
five.
Good day.
Fine, I don't need it. You're right. I don't need it.
Yeah. No. You ain't getting it. You ain't getting it. So Monty scored nothing on New Japan there. Call yourself an expert. See that. Unbelievable.
What I scored on WWE, I thought you were the expert for that.
Fuck off. Oh, sorry, I've got something in my throat. I'm just working it out. 27. All right, so at the moment, as we go, and again, we've got 5 bonus predictions left, so we've only 10 points on the line. So I don't know if you can work this out. But Gina's on 37. Jaxie is on 38 and a third. I'm on 45, which is not bad. Monty on 62. But we are still going to do the bonus predictions, even if it kills us. So, my first one was Darby Allin retires Sting 1-on-1. So I did not get that right. Jaxie, what's your first prediction of 5?
Jade will debut at the Royal Rumble.
Okay, so
All right.
Yeah, you got that.
40 and a third
for me. Gina?
Mercedes Moné will sign to AEW.
Ooh, nice. Another 2 points. Monty?
Trick Williams will become NXT champion.
Motherfucker. So that is 2. Well, I got one better. I put Trick Mello will be at Stand and Deliver, which actually happened, didn't it?
I think.
Now we're gonna have to Google. Hang on a minute.
I don't remember.
Stand and Deliver. This is why we're so prepared. You see, 2024. Please. Trick Williams defeated Carmelo Hayes. Oh, he wins. Jaxie, what's your second one?
We'll get Bullet Club versus United Empire at Forbidden Door 3.
That didn't happen, did it?
It didn't. No, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think it did.
No. Gina?
Bryan Danielson will be AEW World Champ.
Oh my God, the G site's back. Monty?
I'm still barred. Mercedes will return to AEW.
Piece of shit. Number 3. I've got one better. I put Mercedes Moné wins AEW title. Have that. Get in there, Jaxie.
I put Nick Nemeth will participate in the G1 climax.
he as his agent, he thanks you.
enough.
Gina.
Number 3 is Jade Cargill will get the Iron Woman in the Royal Rumble,
Oh, why
which
do you
I
have to
don't think
fucking
I don't think she did. Did somebody else get the Iron Woman?
Didn't Bailey? Wasn't Bailey in there longer?
It might have been Bailey, because I swear
Yeah,
Bailey
Bailey
was
got the longest. Yeah,
she,
Bailey
and she
got the
won it.
longest. Jay
Yeah.
came in much later. Yeah, much later.
Yeah, fuck's sake.
Monty.
Swerve will become world champion this year.
Fucking dickhead. Number 4. Dolph Ziggler returns to WWE. Yeah, Jaxie.
Karrion Kross will continue to be wasted.
Oh no, because he's been featured on Raw now. So I don't know if I can.
Yeah, I know. I literally was thinking that. Like, he's actually had quite a good future with the way it's
Gina.
We will get Karrion Kross versus Brock Lesnar.
I like how all of us are like fantasy, and Monty is just Monty. I don't get 5 out of 5. What's your 4th one?
Okay, he go a little bit of fantasy. I mean, she's training, but she's not back. I said Charlotte Flair will return earlier than expected, so that didn't happen.
Good. Whew. My last one is an ex-AEW wrestler wins the WWE World Title. Ooh. Jaxie.
I put Jack Perry will return to AEW, and he did.
Okay.
It's not like I'll give you a point. Gina.
Yeah, I put Wardlow to turn on Adam Cole.
He did, didn't he?
Did he? Or did he? Did they ever do it? Like it was teased to death. I don't know if they ever did it.
All right. Monty.
This happened, but it really didn't happen because they still the Judgment Day. I said Judgment Day was gonna break up, and at the time that was Rhea and Priest, but I'm not. I don't count it. They still exist somehow. They're a shell of themselves, but they exist.
Yeah, no. To be fair, they are still around. So that is it for 2024. Just got to work out the final scores. I know we're all in suspense. Jaxie, do you think you've done enough to win it?
Absolutely not, but I do think that I might have managed to overtake Gina. So I'll take that.
You know what? This is going to fucking kick off now. It's going to kick off badly because I've just worked out the scores. And incredibly, I don't know if it's, well...
Did she beat her by a third?
Jaxie beat Gina by a third. I'm not going to lie. It's 41 each.
I think it's safe to say we probably tied more than likely because I've been
you as a sister.
Yeah, to be fair, it's the third that did it. I hate to say.
We tied primarily. That is ultimately what it is. G and I have tied.
And in second place is me with 51 points. And I don't think that's too bad, at the end of the year, to be fair. 51. Well done, me. And your winner, of course, not only the winner of every single prediction league, but also the winner and the king of predictions on the WNR in 2024. It is on 68 points. It is Monty. Monty, congratulations. I doff my cap, sir.
Sweet victory. Sweet victory. Hey, they not like me. They not like me. They not like me. They not like me. They not like me.
Yeah, congrats.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got enough to say.
Back whenever you're ready, thanks.
I don't know if I want to give it back, but I'll think about it. Could you at least let me hold it on the weekend? Can we share custody?
We might have to fight it out. We might have to fight it out. But Jax can be the ref. I don't trust James's tactics to ref.
Hey, what? What
Yeah,
have I
me
done
either.
here? I
That's a
didn't
good
react
point.
that bad when I won it last year, surely.
Oh no, you were horrible. You're shady, and I don't trust. We just don't trust you. You don't want to see anybody else prosper.
You
Anyway,
can see James next to smug in the dictionary.
Well, that is
For
2024, and I'm glad that we can all be together as friends and, tell each other how we really feel. But, I mean,
Sure,
that
of
is...
course.
that's what it's all about, really. But no, seriously, Monty, from the very first moment of the year, I think from perfect score at the Rumble, wherever it was, I don't think you look back, and it was really difficult. So well done there. And Gina, I am genuinely shocked you didn't win the prediction league there. But again, it just shows how close it was. I mean, look how tight it was at the top,
Yeah, definitely. We'll try harder next time.
Well, it's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's trying harder or just they maybe have enough time. And maybe Monty won't go as hard next year, We'll see what happens. And, of course, the next time we do predictions, we'll start off the 2025 lot with, of course, Wrestle Kingdom and Dynasty, and that'll be in a couple of weeks. But that is it for now. Monty, any final words as champion of Prediction League 2024?
if you want to do well, feel like your predictions are worse than they actually are. That's all I gotta say. For anybody who want to be like me, just predict horribly in the year end, and then feel like you have to predict these shows right. That's pretty much the only thing I did. But yeah, I ain't got enough to say, man. Hopefully I can continue this. But honestly, after that, after winning everything and putting out, doing it, I can take the year off. I can let me cover my ass ahead of time this year. Maybe I'm horrible this year, and you know why? It's because I absolutely kicked ass last year. 2024 was mine. Maybe I'll let y'all have 2025. I'll think about it.
Yeah, much like I did the previous year.
Gee, thanks, Monty.
So that is it. Don't forget, we're across all social media. X at the WNR Podcast. I'm at the WNR Pod. James, you can find the entire WNR team on the banner. Also now on Blue Sky, WNR Podcast, and Reddit. Jaxie, where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram, X, and Twitch at Jackson Spider.
And what about you, Monty, the Prediction King of 2024?
Will you call me that all year? That's probably what I might change my Twitter name to that. Anyway,
I'll call you it all episode.
No, that's not enough. There's not enough left. Anyway, at my Montypod on Twitter, hit me up there. I'm still there. But yeah, I win.
Yeah, great. Gina?
I'm on X, Instagram, and Twitch streaming the Yakuza series at Purple Pain.
Oh, that sounds good. And also on Facebook and Instagram. Send us an email to doublepodcast@gmail.com. YouTube, Double Podcast, got the same time on YouTube to do SoundCloud on your phone. Also Spotify and iTunes, where you can download, subscribe, rate, and review there. So that is it. Our next episode will be next weekend, and it's NXT New Year's Evil. Will we have a new NXT champion? We will find out. And, of course, like I said, the first points start in 2 weeks' time with Wrestle Kingdom and Dynasty review. Until then, I've been James Rowlands, and I was joined by the fantastic Jaxie Scarlett. Jaxie, I don't think you did as bad as you thought you were going to this year, Or shall I say last year?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I definitely excelled in AEW, so it's only onwards and upwards for 2025. So watch this space, people. Everyone, this is my year this year.
Yeah, you can't be that shit on WWE 2 years in a row. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's impossible.
Shut up, okay?
What? And of course, the genius of Gina. And Gina, can you get your G site back, please, and just stop the other two? I don't care if you beat me. Just make sure you beat them.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I'm going to focus. I'm going to pour all my positive energy into it and just focus on beating those two next year, preferably you two.
Well, I see. The only thing Monty hasn't done is my WrestleMania record. And as I like to thank your WNR 2024 Prediction League winner and champion and basically king. You've still not got my WrestleMania record, so there's still one thing left to do, Monty, you know?
Well, I was just about to get a G site back, but I might keep it for a couple months just for that. Thank you for reminding me that I have to knock you off your perch in that regard.
Me.
And after that, you can get it back after that, Gina. After I perfectly predict WrestleMania and get him out of the way, you can have the G site back. What I need it for, I'm obviously
Use the rest
on
of
top
the
of
year
my
to
game.
try and catch up.
Yeah. Just let me have it the first quarter. I'll give it back to you.
I mean, and again,
Fine.
another thing I've not mentioned is, what the overall score is over years. I've let you have your moment, Monty. You see, that's what nice guy does. You see, not talk about previous wins, talk about this one.
Can we end the show before you just start going into your mountains of notebooks of data?
Right,
and
yeah,
stuff?
listen. And after that note, guys, bye everyone.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We hope you enjoyed throughout 2024, and do not worry because, like you said, and as you can hear, 2025 is just getting started. Thanks for listening, everybody, and bye.